Hello everyone, welcome to Hyperdrive, and it is Sunday's Division 1, and this is going to be a cracking race down under in the Australian Grand Prix. Then, of course, this potentially may be my last broadcast, depending on how good or bad this goes in terms of mics. I'm in a new location tonight, so I am a bit nervous on the old neighbour and all that kind of jazz, but let's get going anyway, shall we? We've got a lot of new drivers in here tonight. Unfortunately, we've only got 6 former ALR drivers left in this division, which is a bit disappointing, but there we go. Gurman is unfortunately no longer a part of it, as he was a former champion, wasn't he? Gurman was. He is not anymore. Lucas Percy, another driver that unfortunately has bowed out, along with Pillars and Dan Murphy as well. So quite big names unfortunately have left the division to go on to pastures new. Then, so let's get going and shall we? Then this qualifying session then for Division 1 here tonight. Then qualifying 1, 2 and 3. I am sat on the floor, so I've got cramp already, which I'm very good. But yes, qualifying 1, then they've got 18 minutes. Then we have qualifying 2, 15 minutes, and qualifying 3 is 12 minutes. And we've had a couple of pole sitters this season. Of course, we've had one each then in terms of Blaze. We've had Salai Guy, and also we've had Epic as well. Then, so good stuff indeed. Then in the Drivers' Championship, this is how it stands at the moment. Then it is Danger Times leads the World Championship by 5 points then from Blaze in second position. Epic is in third position, but my goodness me, there's a massive gap between Blaze and Epic at the moment. Emerson is in fourth position. Troy is up in the fifth, and Bill in sixth position with Gurman seventh, and with Sully in eighth position, Sly Guy in ninth, and Pillars, third time's the charm, Percy in 10th position. And in the drop zone we have Andenge, Young Lights, and Denzo, who are all on minus points unfortunately, so that's not very good at all. In the Constructors' Championship, McLaren leave on 105 points then from the Williams team in second position. They're almost double, well, they are double the points in front of the McLaren team. McLaren have absolutely ran away with this so far. Aston Martin in third position, with Ferrari fourth, along with Mercedes. Sixth position is Alpine, 3 points in front of Alpine is the Red Bull team. Alfa Romeo eighth then, and then we have Alpha Tauri on 3 points and Haas on 2 points then. And here we go then for the start of this race. This is going to be a cracking one. I have no doubt about that. Here down under in the Australian Grand Prix, Epic is the first driver then to start a time on the board then, and let's get going then. And unfortunately Lights is a late dropout, and I think they may get more minus points. Lights is so it's not helping the Mercedes team, is it, as Epic comes across the line to start his run now, going into the Alan Jones chicane, or is it turn 1 and 2? I'm not entirely sure. Let's go on board with Epic now as he's going out of turn 2. 3 DRS lanes around this Albert Park street circuit. Then of course we're into the Brundle turn now, and before accelerating into 4 and 5, then of course the car park. And it is a car park every other time of the season, but however this season, today it is actually going to be a part of the racetrack then here in Australia. Epic then accelerating into turn 7 and 8. Then of course Michael Schumacher had a horrific smash there in 2001 in the Ferrari, coming into 9 and 10 as well for the Williams driver. Then Epic in third in the World Championship, accelerating away. He's invalidated his time, Epic has, so that is him done and dusted then. So unfortunately he is going to have to trundle around then, as Julian is retired from the session already. He's gone off in a major way. I think Felipe Massa had a crash there in 2003, and unfortunately that is it for Julian. He's out of the qualifying session already, along with Bradfield, who's making his Division 1 debut here tonight there. So that's unfortunate then for Julian, also making his debut as well. We've got a couple of debutants here tonight, and we'll go through them throughout the evening broadcast then. Sloth, who's the furthest driver around then, who hasn't invalidated his time just yet. Sloth, isn't there? So we hold on to our Cedar War underpants, and he was 12th in the World Championship last season. He's invalidated this time around there, Sloth has, so he's going to have to go around again, unfortunately. What about Crazy Bill? But Crazy Bill, his teammate's not invalidated at all, has it? And here he comes in the Alpine Renault car, and flicking it into 13 and now into 14, and 14 widens on the exit, I should say, of the Alpine car, then now into 15, the slowest part of the course, then down to 50 miles an hour, then before accelerating away and going into turn 16. I remember Coolfire absolutely hashing his qualifying lap in 2004 around there. Crazy Bill has not done that at all. Cross the line, pole position on a 21.4 recurring there. A good way to start off at this season's Australian Grand Prix, round 4 of the World Championship. All time lap record around here, race lap record is a 21.846. The all-time lap record is set by, I think it's Emerson actually, for 119.037 now. So if anyone can get close to that, that'll be pretty impressive. We're 2 seconds away from that at the moment now, and that was back in season 5, I think it was, and with that all-time lap record by Emerson. Curtis and his second fastest moment, 0.8 of a second away from Crazy Bill, who is the benchmark at the moment here tonight. Then we've got one of the Ferraris are just coming up to the two starters up as well. Here's Jordan. He's making his debut tonight, and he's oh goodness me, it's like watching a version of me here. He's got a pink helmet with car 21 in the Ferrari. Goodness me, it's a Division 6 then. Well, that man's got very good taste indeed, hasn't he? Fantastic. On board now with the Ferrari driver, then going through turn 4 and 5 as well. So this is one of the new debutants here tonight. Let's take a look at the debutant, shall we? We've also got Equalin Emu there. Lovely. Who's just unfortunately Equalin Emu has gone off at turn number 5 and 6 there, and he's out of qualifying, so that is a big blow indeed there for Equals Emu. Then that is absolutely devastating. And so we've got a lot of drivers going off into the wall. This is a very precarious qualifying session here in Australia already. We've had some superb races over the course of the week as well, though, haven't we? Of course, congratulations to Siege, who won. You could say Siege the day last night, didn't he? Fantastic stuff there from Siege, and he's propelled himself right into the top 3 of the World Championship at Division 2, and he could potentially become one of the parts of the Division 1 class, and going into next season as well. Then, as we go into the slowest corner on the circuit as well, then Emerson set the fast up of the race on number 21-1 for 0.3 of a second in front of Crazy Bullman. We're just keeping on what Jar can do across the line. He goes 4 fastest there at 21.8 as well. Goodness gracious me, then these times are hot already off the press. And here's Samba. Across the line comes the Aston Martin driver. Of course, he is making his debut tonight as well. Got a lot of debutants on the grid. Thank you very much then to DJ South Van Limburg, then, who is our new follower. Good stuff indeed there. Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that indeed. And of course, keep do all the old usual hype train and all that kind of stuff. And Cardboy has gone 6 fastest. Of course, we haven't got no Mr. Elite tonight, and he is not very well, which is such a shame for Mr. Elite, isn't there? We've got Becca saying up the Mercedes, and Bradfield saying evening Sean, good evening, good evening Bradfield. KD is blown his hair somewhere, and Ayrton saying hello everyone, I love you indeed, and love you, good sir. Emerson saying he can't hear my voice because I wasn't talking to begin with, as I had a bit of a frog in my throat. Samba is in the middle part of the lap as well, and let's go on board with Samba. He's going into 11 and 12 now. He's at a 48.8 in the second into the second part of the lap, then going over the curb as well. Then here in Australia, one of my favourite circuits on all of the Formula 1 calendar. We've got yellow flags just in front of us at the moment. We've already lost 3 drivers in this qualifying session, albeit a couple of drivers still need to come out and set a time if they want to get through into qualifying number 2 here. We've got Gordo saying hello, good luck Division 1. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know. Good luck in Alien there. All I know is that the aliens go very fast indeed, and Samba's gone second fast at the moment. But still, it's Emerson who is top of the time sheet at this moment in time. Then Danger Times, who's in the World Championship currently, hasn't set a time just yet. Then Troy, who's coming into turn 16 in the Aston Martin car 70 over the grid hatch as well comes Troy. Let's see what he can do then. Across the line it goes, and Troy right up in the thick of things as well, in 3rd position. And Troy is doing a great job indeed. Troy has had a lot of good success over the past, hasn't he? Sly Guy goes fastest there by goodness me, almost half a second now from the Ferrari driver, going for a second pole position in a row. But Epic goes second fastest in the Williams car then. We're just watching Blaze at the moment then, who's second in the World Championship. We've also got oh gosh, Ed, I think I struggled with this man's name a couple of weeks ago. Goodness gracious me. But it's Ori Douglas or something like that. We're going to call him Douglas, I think then. Going back to the comments as well, Becca saying stop the count then. Evening all, we're going to see a 19 tonight then. Well, of course, that would be pretty impressive if we do, but Sly Guy's already off the mark quite quickly indeed then. KD, hello Ginger Age, good evening. My God, that time is pretty quick indeed. Troy is flying lately as well. Serious Mushroom is saying a 20.6 in qualifying 1 is pretty impressive indeed, isn't it? Just watching Rick Dalton here, who's in the Haas car. He's had a pretty disappointing start to his career in Division 1 so far, but let's see how he can do here tonight. And Blaze has gone second fast then, just a whisker behind that Sly Guy at the moment, and as those two are very much cream of the crop so far this season. However, Danger Times is down in 8th position at the moment, and that's not what the McLaren driver wants to be a part of, then, as I've seen someone have a problem, didn't I? I'm not sure. I think I might just have something to me. Oh, it's Dalton! He is off the circuit. He is in the barrier, and he is out of qualifying, and unfortunately that's it for Dalton. He's out of the race, and out of qualifying. He's had a humongous smash then, and unfortunately that is him done and dusted then here tonight, in qualifying anyway. So that's unfortunate. Dalton Fanton, he is out of qualifying already in this one. Knowlesy and Charlestown come out qualifying yet either. Dalton then, who's going to be the first elimination, along with Bradfield and Julian at the moment. And who else is going to be eliminated then for this one? Well, I'll find out then, but I think that this one might become a bit of a foregone conclusion here, as that is unfortunate. Camera Racing saying, evening Sean, hello all race girls and boys, and good evening Camera. We've got pole position, didn't he, in Division 6. Unfortunately didn't go too well for him during the race there for Camero, but it's great to see Camero back up there in fighting form then. Also good to see Nigel, a former world champion of Division 1 there, also doing a great job as well, as he won back in Division 4, didn't he? We also got Wilson that also opening his account as well on Thursday night, so getting a great job in the podium place as well, which is absolutely beautiful stuff indeed then. Here comes R.G. Douglas, and who's out on a turn then, and I'm sorry to the poor man, as I cannot pronounce his name whatsoever, but he goes 14 fast and only found a second and a half, or second and 2/10 I should say then, on his opening time. Good stuff indeed then from the Alpha Tari driver. Danger Times, his second bite of the cherry is much better. He has gone 5th fastest now, and he's in the 21.2s, just got a whisker behind Emerson as well then. So just now on board with Danger Times, he is floating between turn 11 and 12, and he is just crawling back into the garage then. So Danger Times then, is that going to be safer through? Emerson is back out on circuit then, so let's see what Emerson can do then. He is the double world champion, Emerson is, and in the Mercedes. Of course, unfortunately Mercedes is going to have some more negative points on their hands there, which is not going to be entirely happy in the Mercedes camp. They have had a very good week, I would say, haven't they? Of course, believe it or not, a Welshman had scored twice this week. Goodness gracious me, doing a very good job in both Division 3 and 2, the Mercedes drivers. So superb stuff indeed there, as Malnada getting off the point spot mark as well. Lovely stuff then. Emerson then, as we're just on board with him now, then going through 11 and 12, and this is the most precarious part of the circuit for Emerson and the 19 other drivers there. Unfortunately, Dalton is already hit the wall quite heavily as well, didn't he? Unfortunately, just a minute ago then, yellow flags is fluttering there out of the back part of the circuit into 14 and 15. Then Emerson, who's a whisker up in the second sector on the soft shod Mercedes car, out of the final turn now. Then what can Emerson do then? Going over the grid hatchings then, the double world champion. Is it going to be an improvement? It is indeed, by a tenth of a second, but he is still in the 21s at the moment, as Sly Guy and Blaze currently leads the way at the moment. KD saying, come on Alpha Tari, this is a great opportunity to go through the Constructors' Championship, whilst we're just looking at Jar, who's flicking through turn at number 5, I think it is, isn't it, into turn 6. It is indeed. I think I've spoken about the Constructors. Oh my goodness gracious me, I think that I'm off me rocker a bit, and Epic is retired from the session. He's in 4th position. He's very happy with that then. On board with Jordan. Oh goodness me, the back end is starting to squirrel away there, wasn't it? That Ferrari was trying to overtake the front now of Jordan, and I think he has backed off here, backed off in the Ferrari. He is down in 13th position at the moment, and Jar is, and so not a bit of a scruffy opening couple of laps then for Jar, and his debut tonight here in Hyperdrive. Knowlesy using all kinds of using a lot of corner speed on the exit of turn 12 there. A lot of commitment there for the Mercedes driver. Of course, he's a super sub tonight, as Lights is unfortunately is not here tonight. Going into turn 15 as well, in for Knowlesy, a former Grand Prix winner. He won here in season 4, didn't he, as well? Knowlesy did. Absolutely spectacular performance indeed there. Or was it season 5? think it was season 4, isn't it? And he goes across the line, he goes 14th fastest, and he's currently through at the moment then. And but he has got a bit of a buffer between himself and Ori Douglas, and Ori Douglas, and I don't know where I got the D from then. It's because I see the last couple of syllables in that name. Oh, Chazza's off the circuit there, and he abandoned his lap. I think he may have done here for Chazza, and that's unfortunate then for the Red Bull driver, but he's carrying on. But he's going to go around again, I presume, and surely he's got enough fuel in the car. It looks like he has, according to that graphic there, so he should be able to go around again then, and give another bite of the cherry there. Currently at the moment, then, Equal Emu then is out of qualifying. We've got Dalton out of qualifying as well, along with Julian and Bradfield as well. So unfortunately, we've got 4 drivers already confirmed then to be out of qualifying one then. As oh, you can call me Lewis, and thank you very much, sir. I will call you Lewis. Deja vu I'm getting, because I'm sure you said that to me last week. On board then with Chance at the moment, and as he is hanging it out into turn 2 and going into turn 3 as well. The Brundle turn it is, and as Martin Brundle went over the back of the back of Johnny Herbert and David Coulthard, didn't he, in the 1996 Australian Grand Prix, the first ever race around here after having 10 years in Adelaide, didn't they, on that famous street circuit. I love that Adelaide back on the Formula 1 game in the future, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon then. Chaz is currently out of qualifying at the moment. Got to find 3 seconds over Lewis at the moment. Then let's see what Chaz can do in the Red Bull car as well. Remember, he finished third in the World Championship last season, didn't he? Chaz did. He hasn't started off too well this season, though, has he? The Red Bull driver. Then as he flicks past me now, going into 11 and 12. But on board now with Chaz's 800 of a second up then. Oh my word, then get a bit squirrely on the old rear posterior then as he's going up into turn 13 as well then for Chaz, and he straightens out the car going into 13 then, using a bit of curb, not too much curb, then into 14 as well. Of course 14 is a bit more quicker than 13, of course, down into turn 15 then, touching at 50 miles an hour again before getting back on the power and through into turn 16 then. DRS is wide open and coming out to the line as well. What can Chaz do across the line? And that is enough then for 7th position. So good stuff indeed for Chaz. So that should be safe through, or should it? We got Ferrari's touring. Figure Sligo coming out again, and Jars up in the 10th position on it, and then has not scored a point yet, has he, so far? He's in the minus points at the moment, unfortunately, in 18th position. Carpool's retired from the session as well. So I think it's going to be between Lewis and a couple of the bottom runners. And Curtis, of course, made his debut about a week ago, didn't he, in the Haas car. He is replaced at Dan Murphy, unfortunately. He is in the car park section of 4 and 5, and look at that Haas car trying to overtake the front here, but he is carrying on nonetheless in the American-based team. He's invalidated his time. This time is not going to count now for the Haas car, and that is unfortunate. Nosey back out on circuit as well, as is Lewis as well. Going to keep an eye on what these drivers can do there. And here it comes Lewis as well, and of course the lovely red and green helmet there. That reminds you of Eddie Irvine, who, remember, won his first Grand Prix here in 1999, and Lewis has done a very good quick outlap there. So let's see if he can now do it on the lap which counts then. And here comes Lewis then, as he's got DRS right on the money, and then look at that, and he's got a lot of battery power as well before going in to turn number 3 as well then for car 69 then. And that didn't look too tidy to me on the apex there, and unfortunately that lap is not going to count. He is out of qualifying because the checker flag has fallen here in Australia, and that is qualifying 1 done and dusted then. And it's going to be Lewis, Equaling Emu, Dalton, Julian and Bradfield all out of qualifying, unfortunately. And that is disappointing indeed then, is it, to start off this qualifying session here tonight then. Well, I think qualifying's over. Or am I just a bit too far in front? Or maybe a bit too far in front here. Let's find out then. Maybe Lewis has got a chance for a second bite of the cherry then. Let's see if he can make the checker flag then. We'll keep an eye on that then, because we're all going to be on board with Nosey then, who Nosey... Well, no, we're going to stick with Curtis for the minute then. And here is Curtis now then, flicking it into turn number 4 and now into turn number 5. So you can see the road markings there on the track then. Of course, remember that this is a public road, isn't it? When the Formula 1 drivers from Hyperdrive is not participating in the sport that we and you and I and them love, isn't it? Into the breaking point of 9 and 10, and of course then they've got rid of that bump, haven't they? Which is a key feature of the Albert Park Street Circuit over over yesteryear, but however, it's made it a bit more easier, hasn't it? As the track is now more familiar to like a billiard table, isn't it? Unfortunately, Curtis has invalidated his time, and Lewis is in the pits, and then he is out of qualifying, unfortunately. So Lewis is the 5th driver to be confirmed out of qualifying, which is such a shame then. So we have lost Bradfield, Julian, Daunton, Equalin, Emu there, and of course Lewis out of qualifying, unfortunately. So those are our first 5 drivers that are out, which is such a shame then, as we're going to roll on into qualifying 2 here in the Australian Grand Prix. And you can see then Curtis getting wheeled back into the garage in the Haas team as well. Then Curtis making his 2nd appearance here tonight in Division 1. Dylan's good evening Dylan then. And we have also got Keza in the comments as well. Welcome to everyone that has joined us. Fantastic stuff indeed then. By the way, then the African Cup of Nations is on the moment, and there's an early penalty for someone, but I missed out to see who it was. Look at those 2 times at the top there. Absolutely incredible stuff. They're already in the 120s. Can they get to Emerson's lap record that was set in Season 5? It's absolutely incredible stuff indeed, but they can potentially do it. Remember, these cars have got 10% less downforce than those cars back in yesteryear. Impressive indeed then. Bradfield out of qualifying, no time for Julian, no time for Daunton, no time for Equalin Emu, or Emu then maybe, and also Lewis also out of qualifying as well, but he did set the time then. Unfortunately for the Portuguese driver, he is going to be a spectator like you and I, unfortunately, as we have got Chazza for the win as well. Good evening as well. We got a new follower. Fantastic stuff indeed there. And of course, the new follower straight on to Chazza's K-Cent with a Grand Prix win, he is stating, and which I am not going to argue with that. And Chazza's never won a Grand Prix in Division 1, but anything could happen in Grand Prix, and it usually does. And then Chazza should have and could have won a couple of Grand Prix, shouldn't he, really, with his pace? But he has been a bit unlucky, hasn't he? But thank you very much then for the new follow. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed there. Kieran Engog there. I don't think that's right, is it at all? Goodness me. That reminds me of David Engog, if anyone remembers. That's a Liverpool legend from yesteryear. Right, qualifying 2 then. We're going to be losing another 5 drivers in this qualifying 2 session. However, of course, we've got to remember that anyone that gets into the top 10 must start on the tires, which they set their fastest time on then. Lynx is saying then that Sly Guy is washed then. Well, at the moment, Sly Guy is the quickest car out there at the moment, going for his 2nd pole position in a row. He had one in Saudi Arabia just over a week ago, didn't he? Sly Guy then. So can he get another one as well then? Well, let's find out then, as we're just now on board with Epic, who is going down into turn number 3, I should say. Got pole position in the first race of the season, Epic did, in the Williams car. He hasn't had pole position since then, because Blaze was on pole position in China, and then Sligo got pole position last time out as well. So pole positions qualifying has been very much spread out, isn't it? There we've had 3 different pole sitters. We're going off a 4th one here tonight. Wins is a different scenario, with Blaze getting 2 Grand Prix wins and Danger Tom's getting a Grand Prix win as well. It's been an all McLaren domination, very much like 1998 there, wasn't it? Where McLaren there, absolutely superb start indeed then, wasn't it? As they started off with, I think they started with 2 Grand Prix wins, didn't they? As they got a Grand Prix win in Australia and Brazil, but I think in Argentina with a bit peak tongue, didn't it? With a certain Michael Schumacher breaking that run of form, unfortunately. Also, we had, but in 1988, goodness me, a year before I was even a twinkling in my mother's eye. It was, of course, it was 15 Grand Prix wins and 16 races there for the McLaren team, and in that incredible dominant era or season. Then with Alan Prost and Ayrton Senna, and of course Ayrton Senna, the eventual world champion that season. No guesses in, well, no prize in guessing who was the constructors champions. I would say that it was a red and white car on board with Epic the Animal going into turn 1 and 2. Then look at that, and how much commitment is that? That's absolutely incredible. Too much commitment there for Epic, and he is in the wall, and that is not good at all then for Epic then, and he has spun the car. He has gone around the wrong way here, and that is not good at all then for the Williams car. He's going to have to spin that car back around then. He's doing a very good job there, Epic is then. However, I think he's going that lap is all done and dusted, unfortunately, so he is going to have to have another bite of cherry, unfortunately. So we're going to stick with Blaze at the moment, who is 5 points away from the championship lead at the moment now. And just on board as well. Lynx has asked, what red and white car? Do you mean the Manor? No, the McLaren team back in the late 80s and early 90s. Well, they was red and white cars for a very long time, actually, weren't they? When Ron Dennis was certainly in the helm as well. In the mid-80s and early 90s as well, wasn't it, there for the McLaren team, before they went on to sport the black and grey livery then when they was a part of the West. Oh, Blaze is in the wall. He's in the wall and he's out of qualifying, and that's a humongous smash there. And Blaze, who's second in the World Championship, is in the wall. He's gone straight into the wall, and it's major damage there as well. I'm surprised out. Oh, he's lost the rear wheel. That's why then. I was wondering why he's out, but that was a humongous smash then for the McLaren driver, and that is not good at all, is it there? So as J Marks is in the comments as well, hello to J Marks as well. All right, boys, good luck to all racing then. And it was a bit of an oof moment indeed then. Unfortunately, so as Sof is going fast at the moment, and he's done a 21.7 so far in the Alpine car. He's gone triple purple there, but Chaz has gone fast still by 0.4 of a second. As we have lost we've lost Blaze already. Then goodness me, and he is 5 points away from being the World Championship road. It looks so easy for the McLaren team in the opening 3 races then, but this has really turned on its head now, hasn't it? Goodness gracious me, it's a humongous smash there for Blaze. And remember, he is very much in tip-top form. Number 2 Grand Prix wins in the first opening 3 races here in Division 1, and that is an absolute disastrous in the sporting context. Emerson now very much at peak form at the moment on a 21.0 in the Mercedes car. He is fastest so far. We have got Knowlesy into the 29 so far. That would have been pole position back in 1999. However, he currently needs to find a couple of seconds there if he wants to get into this. If he wants to get into the role of this pole position shootout there, as Sligo going at third fastest there, and that possibly maybe on it use soft tires for Sligo, but that's still a mighty good lap indeed there for the Ferrari driver. Just watching Danger Toms at the moment, he is now breaking into 9 and 10 as well, not getting too much onto the curve there. Crazy Bill then Uzi on a second time run as well. Sloth getting a lovely slipstream there. We've seen a lot of slipstreaming going on in Division 1 over the past couple of races, so fantastic stuff indeed. Then Katie, you're very surprised to see Blaze out then. It was that pesky turn number 12, isn't there, for the McLaren team? And McLaren at the moment, they're not looking too strong after their incredible dominance to start Division 1 here in Hyperdrive. Crazy Bill is second fastest once again. He got a podium last time, didn't he, Crazy Bill? And once again, he is showing some impressive speed then, isn't he? Good stuff indeed there. As Slayer saying, you can say that again. Then as Danger Times out of the final turn, and he's got DRS as well. Danger Times as he's second fastest. Now he's in the party. Danger Times is that good stuff indeed there. I think it's the fastest on the final sector of this Albert Park circuit. And Dench, who needs some points, doesn't he? Unfortunately, he's in negative points at the moment, and that is not good at all for the Alfa Romeo driver then. But remember, we have still got a very long way to go in this World Championship. This is round 4. We've got 20 rounds to go after this one. So it's very much like last season's Canada now, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. But that is very much the case at the moment. I'm just now watching Knowlesy going into the Brundle turn, and you see he's doing a bit of harvesting out there on the hybrid power Mercedes car. Not, of course, Knowlesy, a former Grand Prix winner, but even a former Grand Prix winner is going to struggle in this type of environment, mainly because Knowlesy has probably had no practice whatsoever on the Albert Park Street circuit, as he didn't know he was racing until about 5 minutes before the start. Then, goodness gracious me, we thought Paul de Resta in Hungary had a little time to get prepared when he was driving for the Williams for. I think, wasn't it Felipe Massa was not very well in Hungaro. However, in the Hungaroring, however, Knowlesy then even less time than that. Then goodness gracious me, I'm wondering if he got any installation lights before this qualifying session. Whatever the case may be, he's still done a superb job to get himself into qualifying 2 here tonight. Then, so supreme stuff indeed for the Mercedes driver. And he's into 13 and 14. Danger Toms has gone fastest in the McLaren. Danger Toms was pretty impressive last season. However, I don't think he reached peak form, did he? He won the opening race in Bahrain, and he also won in Mexico as well. But however, this season I think we're going to see the best of Danger Toms. I'm looking forward to it as well. Knowlesy out the final turn as well. He's found a couple of tenths on this lap. He's found 6 tenths in the end. Now, good stuff indeed there. Samba is in the Aston Martin. He's got big shoes to fill tonight. Samba has. We'll talk about that in a minute then. Cartboy just flicking it through turn 5. I think that was it. Just watching Troy, who's very much light as a feather then, isn't he? He's down into turn 15, into 16 as well for the Aston Martin driver. Then over turn 16 as well. Not running too wide then. Going across the line, and what can Troy do? He goes 8 fastest in the Aston Martin. Lovely stuff indeed, and that's great stuff there from Troy. Brilliant. He is now in 8 fast, and if he can stay there, that will mean he'll be in qualifying 3 then, and a chance to go for pole position then for the Australian Grand Prix. Cardboy, who goodness gracious me, who I think he almost could have won this race, couldn't he, there a couple of seasons ago there for Cartboy. I think his best season was season 5, wasn't it there, and he was very unlucky not to win that race. However, fortune, sometimes fortune does favour the brave, but Cartboy on that instance there didn't have much fortune on the side then, however, because I think he there was all kinds of gremlins going on with the safety car, wasn't there? As people took off at different times there. It was a very interesting safety car restart. Cartboy abandoned his time on this one, so we're going to stick with Samba at the moment as he's coming out the final turn then across the line. He goes fastest so far. Boy, look at that. That's incredible. Just over 100th of a second quicker than Danger Times in second at the moment. And this is incredible stuff indeed. Then Jordan getting very close to the Armco barrier out of turn 10. I'm just watching Curtis out of the final turn as well. Curtis keeping it well within track limits and good stuff. Deep then across the line it comes, and Curtis goes 10 fastest. That's enough, but that's enough at this moment in time. But I don't think it's going to be enough in the long-term scenario here, because I think the drivers are going to be quicker. The likes of Cardboy, Nosey, Epic, and Jar. Remember, or Yar, as he might be called. Then I'm not too sure that. Whatever the case may be, we do know that Blaze is out qualifying. The man who's won 2 out of the 3 Grand Prix so far this season, but he's currently on the sidelines now. Epic over the final turn, and he is 6th fastest there in the Williams car. What about Jar? If I'm going to catch him. I do indeed. He's full fastest. Jar is in the Ferrari, making his debut tonight for the Ferrari driver. We've got a lot of debutantes here as well then. Kez is saying he put Blaze in my fantasy team. I am bad luck then. I've got bad luck every week now as the drivers I select to get it, and so I think that if I no disrespect to Kez there, but if you do get selected in Kez's fantasy team, you're probably going to have a bit of a difficult race then. Unfortunately, just watching Curtis then, he's trying to steal his slipstream now from Nosey. Look how dull it's got there. And I thought the track was a bit wet there coming out of turn at 12 and going into turn 13, but maybe it's just a trick of the light then. Curtis are into 15 now for the Haas car, now accelerating into turn 16 and out of final turn. And Curtis going for a second time lap here. Let's see what he can do on his second time lap. That's enough for 10 fast at the moment. He's not got Sloth out of qualifying at the moment. However, we have still got a couple of minutes to go. Well, say a couple, 5 to be exact then, isn't it? Going into turn 1 and engines, and of course the best helmet design on the field, on the grid in my opinion. Of course the Ronnie Peterson inspired helmet. Perhaps it's nothing like Ronnie Peterson, but the colours are certainly the same, isn't there? I think Ronnie Peterson, was he a Swedish driver back in the 70s there? A very naturally gifted Grand Prix driver indeed, wasn't he there? But unfortunately at the height end of Formula 1's Danger wasn't there? Horrific smashes, and we lost a lot of great heroes in that era, didn't we? And Engine is dropped down to 6th position as Justin Charles moving up into 4th fastest now as well, as the Haas car just going slightly off. And Andenge doing very well actually, because if I was Andenge I would have followed that car off the circuit there, but that is why these guys are very much at the peak performance. And now we've got Andenge's 4900th of a second up in the second split time as well. Doesn't want to take too much curve there. We've seen Blaze do that earlier on this qualifying session. Car 62, which is Andenge now coming up into turn 13 as well. Look at how wide he's going into 13 and using all the track, and then so don't want to take too much of the grass, so into 14, and once again using a bit of the AstroTurf out of 14 and breaking down into second gear, 50 miles an hour then, getting up to 55 to 60 miles an hour then, and looking very wayward out of 15 and 16 then, but look at that then, very much on the gas then, going over the grid. Hutchins then, where does Andenge go then, as committed, and look at that though, I think that 5th fastest there for Andenge then. Is that going to be enough then? If he gets through though, he's done 4 laps on those soft tyres along with Chaz there, so that could be a problem. As Curtis, I think, just crashed into the barrier there, didn't he? I just seen something. And Sly Guy's gone pole. No, he hasn't. Sly Guy's gone fastest in qualifying 2 here. I'm getting well too ahead of myself. As someone's had an incident in the pit lane. I think it is actually Curtis there, who's had an issue there, unfortunately. So that's not good at all. But it looks like his car has come in the pits somehow. Troy, we're on board with now, who's in 12th position. And Troy, who was quick in qualifying 1. However, qualifying 2, he's a bit very much in the wilderness here. 3 minutes to go in this qualifying session. There's a car in front of us, and it looks like they've brought a bit of mud and dirt onto the track there, which Troy is not going to be too impressed by, is he? Chaz is out of qualifying as well, as he is in 5th at the moment. And Emerson is 4th fast at the moment. Sly Guy is fastest by over half half a second at the moment in the Ferrari car. Can Sligo keep this one going then? On board now with Troy, and he's going into turn 14 as well, and taking a lot of curve. That's unstable. The car has it out for Troy, now into 15 as well, and into the pits. That comes Andej, who were very much committed on that lap then. Out of the final turn of just red stuff, which may have plugged so many holes, and Troy across the line. He is 10th back on the Aston Martin. Lovely jubbly. Soft has validated his time then. Cardboy hasn't. Oh, he hasn't validated his time, unfortunately. Crazy Bill then, who is flying out of turn 12. And let me read the comments then. Goodness gracious me. We have got Dylan saying half a second, and that is the gap between Silly Sly Guy and Samba at the moment, who's making his debut tonight then, and Danger Thomas as well, who is currently top of the World Championship. Wilson saying then it's full wet race, which is why the times have been done on used softs then. So yes, that is why then. So the likes of Sly Guy's done 3 laps on the soft tyres, and Crazy Bill's done 3 laps. That's why they're using used softs then. Of course, they will not have to start the race then in the on the tyres as they set a fast time on, of course, then because of changing conditions. Soft is going for another lap as well, with just under a minute to go in this qualifying session. So Carboy then, this is all or nothing. This is one shot then. KD, love a wet race. Serious Mushroom saying, as long as he's not in it then. As Kez is saying, and wet races are not as interesting as a dry race. Then a lock up on the inside at front tyre of Carboy into turn number 3, accelerating away into turn 4 as well. Then as you can see, so we've had a couple of wet races over the course of the week, haven't we? Goodness gracious me! And we're expecting some more all Carboys out of qualifying. Unfortunately, that one mistake there, one error in judgment, and it's exactly what Sloth has done as well. And of course, there's a bit of a groove down there, isn't there? And if you get stuck in that groove, that's it. Then the car is going to go down there. And unfortunately, because of that, then that's going to be a lap deletion there. Knowlesy is not looking too frisky coming out of 4 and 5, and it is. I think he's cruising there, Knowlesy is there, and I'm wondering then if. He's 4/10 of a second up, so that shows how much I'm not talking about then, doesn't it? It looked very pedestrian coming out of turn at number 3, though, didn't it? I thought we had a problem. We must have been just a trick of the camera there. So just watching those as well as Kez just reminiscent on those safety cars, which possibly should have cost him the Grand Prix win last night. It certainly cost him many points, though, didn't it, for Kez, which he was hugely frustrated by, and he was very vocal about the safety car situation after the Grand Prix last night, unfortunately, then for Keza. Just now watching Nosey then, who is not very pedestrian at all in this second part of the lap. Then look at that, he's almost as light as a feather, isn't it? It's between himself and Troy to get through into qualifying 3. Remember, we're starting a wet race then, which means it's a free choice of tyres then. Nosey out of the final turn then, and here he comes over the grid hatch as well then for the Mercedes driver then across the line. Is it enough then? It is not enough for Nosey. He is improved by almost 2 seconds. It is not enough. He is out of qualifying. Carboilo, can he snatch something in the dying emblems of this qualifying session now? It's between himself and he's run out of fuel, so he's not going to be able to snatch anything now unless he can find a fuel pump of some kind. Carboy out of qualifying here, which is such a shame then. So we have lost Sloth, Curtis, Knowlesy, Carboy, and a shock Blazer, who's out of qualifying as well after a humongous smash earlier on this qualifying 2 session. Right there on the right hand side barrier, he is out of qualifying. Blazers down in 15th position, whilst his championship rival and teammate is in 3rd in this qualifying 2 session now. It's all to play for them, but McLaren are only going to be half happy, and half of the garage is going to be happy. The other half is going to be a bit traumatised by that turn 12 here in Australia. And you can see it started raining on Carboy's monocoque there. That's not good at all, is it? Well, it is good, isn't it, for anyone who loves rain like Serious Mushroom does. So we're going to have a wet qualifying 3 session here for the 2nd season in a row, because we had a wet qualifying session here last season, didn't we, for the top division. So this is going to get very interesting indeed then. It is starting to rain then, but whether it's going to be wet enough for the intermediate tyres, and we're going to have to find out then in this qualifying session. This is going to be looking very interesting indeed then for the for qualifying freedom, but it might be first out that gets pole position here, of course, then, which is going to be a bit unfortunate because it might be one run and done then. Remember back to the old days of F1 where we used to have one-shot quali between 2003 and 5. We're going to get that here tonight and in qualifying 3, which is a bit unfortunate because we do like when it starts to really build up ahead of steam then. Unfortunately, we have lost Sloth then by less than a tenth of a second, and Curtis in 12th position, Nosey 13th, Carboy 14th, and Blaze down in 15th position in the McLaren. And see, Sly Guy is currently fastest by half a second, and from Samba in second and Danger Times in third position. Pretty impressive stuff indeed. Then Emerson in fourth position with Chazza in fifth, and then Jar, Crazy Bill, Epic, and Troy completes the top 10. And those are the runners and riders going through into the pole position shootout then for the Australian Grand Prix. Then this is round 4 of the World Championship. At the moment, then it is McLaren who are leading the way in the constructors and the drivers' championship. However, as we just mentioned, the biggest talking point in this qualifying session at the moment is the exit of Blaze then, which is quite shocking indeed then, which is a very disappointing thing. It's a very disappointing thing to have then, for the McLaren team. And you can see then the track is damp, but it's not saturated at the moment, which means that the soft tyres are still the way to go then. Who's going to come out first then? It might be first man on track that will get pole position. Emerson is firing up his engine then, and he is the first out of the garage, but he's not going to be first out of the pit lane because I think I see Chaz also coming out as well. I think it's an Alfa Romeo, isn't it? I think it's Andenge who's coming out of the pits first. Is it Andenge? We cannot I cannot see at the moment then, which is such a shame then. Hopefully I can hopefully I'll find out in just a minute then. I think it is Andenge who's the first driver out on circuit then, so this is going to get very interesting indeed. It is Andenge, but look at how wet it is out there already, and Andenge who's going to be fighting tooth and nail with Sly Guy here. We're going to have a race, I think, then between Sly Guy and Andenge. Goodness me, and look at this, and there's Sly Guy and Andenge is not going to let him through, is he? Surely not then, because this track position is going to be key here in this Grand Prix, in this qualifying session I should say, because of course then it could be first man across the line then. So Andenge, of course, usually in qualifying you may get towed off for blocking. However, at this stage of the session, and both drivers are on an outlet. Both drivers are fighting for track position. They do not want to yield at this stage of proceedings, do they? And why should they? Too wet at the end of the warm-up. Serious Mushroom is saying at the moment that curb can get the best of could get even the best of drivers in at turn 12. And unfortunately, other than Blaze's crash, no surprises in qualifying too. Then and look at this. And now we've got Sly Guy is going for the lead on track. Then of course, then this is crucial, and he's done it, and that could be pole position right there. And then of course, so remember that. We just heard in the comments that Serious Mushroom reckons it's going to be too wet for the slick tyres here. There might be some intermediate tyres being thrown onto the drivers, and Troy is at the back of this crocodile here, so he may come into the pits and throw on the intermediate tyres. And Sly Guy is first, and let's go on board with Sly Guy, who's on pole position in Saudi Arabia just over a week ago. We've gone from beautiful Scotland and Saudi Arabia to a very wet and murky Albert Park then, and this rain is set now for the rest of the evening then, as we are expecting rain, of course, in the race itself. And Sly Guy getting a bit squirrely on the old rear posterior. Everyone has not come to the pits, and everyone has stayed out then. It's Samba who is the final car in the crocodile. Then Sly Guy then has gone into turn 3 then. Of course, we got no times just yet then, at this moment then. So we're on board then with Sly Guy then going over the curb and not taking too much curb, of course, because you'll be spatting going into the wall then. That's not what Sly Guy needs then. Going into turn number 6 as well. He's gone purple in the first sector. Remember, though, times have been wiped from we've got an Alpine off the circuit. I think it is Crazy Bill in between turn 2 and 3, unfortunately. Remember that the times from times in qualifying 2 and 1 have been wiped off the timesheets. Then this is about here and now. Then as steps will start to sing. Then going into 11 and 12 and on board now with the Halo cam as well. Hold on to the seat you're on the pants, folks. Oh my goodness me, that's incredible, isn't it? Sly Guy is purple in the second sector as well. Whereas Andenge just dropped off to the back at the moment. We got a Ferrari of Jar holding up 2 cars, and a Mercedes and a Williams car, which may help his teammate here, which would be golden stuff indeed. Then is that Sly Guy then now going into the slowest corner on the circuit is turn 15 and 50 miles an hour before accelerating away and into the final turn. Look at how damp it is on the circuit, but DRS is still enabled, which gives us an idea that this might still be enough. And Sly Guy's fast on the 25, and that's a good time then. And Engine's in 5/8 time. What about Jar? He is second fastest, but Emerson has gone second fast as well. But look at that, Sly Guy's almost a half a second in front of the rest of the field. Epic in third, Troy in fourth, Chaz in fifth, and Jar straight all the way down to sixth. Samba behind the 8 ball, but he's gone third fastest on his debut. Magnificent stuff indeed there for the Aston Martin driver. Supreme stuff and absolute heroes among us. Oh no, Crazy Bill's lost the hold the wing now on the Alpine car, and he'll be coming back into the pit set. Is the rain easing now, or is it still getting wet out there? So just watching Adjent, who in Validator's time, as the danger times as well. We've got some slow cars in the car park have turned 4 and 5, unfortunately, on board now. Then this is incredible driving indeed. Then all these drivers then have been supreme, how they've kept it on track in these greasy, slippery conditions here. At the moment, it's Sligo going for a second pole position. I'm the first driver in the season to go for 2 pole positions there in the opening stages then of the World Championship, which is Division 1 here tonight. Fantastic yellow flag in sector 2 of English up into turn 10, but it looks here in Albert Park as Andenge now into turn 13. And how is he looking? And of course this time last lap he did invalidate this time the Aston the Alfa Romeo driver, didn't he? So he wants to so he needs to really elevate himself here then, because the track is going to be a lot wetter. Oh, he's gone wide there into turn 15 now on the curbs for him, and then that is going to blow his lap surely. Let's see how far behind it. Look, he's already slower than Jar, who's the slowest timed runner so far. He's across the line 8 fast. They've lost the best of the track conditions, I think. Then danger times out of the final turns. One McLaren with his teammate in the hedge earlier on in qualifying 2. It's not enough for danger times. He is down in 8th position as well. And yes, indeed. Then I'm wondering if it's good enough, if it's maybe opportunity to go onto the intermediate tires. But Sly Guy is faster, currently on pole position for the start of the Australian Grand Prix with Emerson alongside him on row 1. Then we've got the debutant of Samba, who's currently 3rd fastest, fantastic in front of Epic in 4th position. Troy, supreme stuff in 5th position with Chaz in 6th. Jar making his debut tonight in 7th position. Danger Tom's the championship leader down in 8th position. Both McLarens have come a cropper here in qualifying. And engine 9th position. Crazy Bill's come back out in 10th position at the moment, but it's too wet, I think, now for Crazy Bill, who may start the Grand Prix in 10th position, unfortunately. Oh, it's a danger time to sort of swapped ends there. Look, that's how greasy it is here in Australia. Oh, and that's not good as he backs it into the wall there. He's waiting for Crazy Bill to get past him there. But look at that then. The track is very damp now, isn't it? So I think that, I can't believe it though, the DRS has not been disabled yet then, which is a good opportunity for maybe Crazy Bill to try and find something then. We've got intermediate tyres on Emerson and Samba's car. We did have Sligo on intermediate tyres just for a whisker of a moment, but he is now gone back onto the soft tyres. So he's got a new set of soft tyres if he wants to have a bite of the cherry then. Jar, wasn't that a Nico Schweizinger song then? I don't know, to be honest. I must admit, I wasn't really a big old fan of Nico Schweizinger. I must admit, I did like the Pussycat Dolls, and very nice indeed. Then, of course, I did like those old buttons. Was it buttons or something like that? I can't remember. Also, Don't You as well. I was a diva on that on the old SingStar when that came on. Then, lovely stuff indeed. As Kez is saying, that might be it then. Kez is saying for qualifying, we'll soon find out. Then Crazy Bill going across the line as well. Then, but he may be right then. I think it's too wet now out on the track. Then I hate the queuing up in the final corner, like Epic is saying, and it serves no purpose and causes us to bunch up, and the track just gets worse there. So Epic is very unhappy with that. And of course, we do have queuing up, don't we, in the real world of Formula 1 then? But Epic very vocal by the looks of things then in the old comics section there. So he's not a happy chappy at all, Epic, isn't there? And he feels that's cost him an abundance amount of time here in this Australian Grand Prix, unfortunately. Crazy Bill currently who's on a quick lap at the moment now. How quick is it going to be on the timesheets? We're going to have to find out. Serious Mushroom reckons it's a good opportunity for the drivers to practice on the intermediate tyres. Samba has come out on track now in the Aston Martin car. Let's see how well he does then. As Dylan saying, maybe more practice for the wet tyres for the drivers. Then Slayer is saying, and I think in reference to Animal's comments earlier on in the stream, then that it may be about tactics and all that kind of stuff. But either way, it's really hurt Epic, and I'm wondering if he's on about Jar and Emerson, who was the 2 cars in front of him, I believe, when he did set a time then. Samba's the only driver that's come out of the pits at the moment, and is Crazy Bill, who is currently still on soft tyres at the moment then. And just on board now is Liam. Yeah, said, how have you managed to swear on here? Liam is asking, and I hope I haven't swear on here. I apologise if I have them. Usually I keep it clean and precise. Well, not precise, anything but precise. I like to keep it PG, of course. As oh gosh, I've just dropped on my camera. Oh no. It's okay. I thought I lost my control then. I just settled it. Crazy Bill, who's done the time of a 30.4 then, and unfortunately the track is just going to get wetter and wetter. I'll try and keep it PG as much as possible because I do know that there are some young fans that will probably be watching tonight then. Maybe my younger nephew then, albeit he's got a worse potty mouth than I have. Crazy Bill at the moment, who is unfortunately a second and a half behind Andenge, and I think that might be Crazy Bill's best position then. Samba going into turn 3, going into turn 3 as well then. And just on board with Samba, who is just going through the car park as well. Knowles is saying it's drying up soft. Stouter is getting better to the inter, so people might go out again on dry. Said Knowles is saying, and Twitch. Oh goodness me, as we got a bit of a foul language there. As KD has been told off for foul language. Goodness gracious me, everyone, keep it clean, I'd say. So Knowles reckons. Well, Knowles has shown us the Delta where the soft tires are going to get quicker then. So it is drying up then perhaps, and it's only light rain at the moment, so if it dries up it can dry up quite quickly here in Australia. Remember of course then that the drainage around here is pretty superior, isn't it? So it's pretty superior of course. If I remember the 2010 Grand Prix around here where we had a bit of rain, didn't we? Jenson Button won the first Grand Prix of his McLaren era, didn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed there for Jenson Button back in 2010 of course, and it was very much a wet dry race as well. That's very much where Twinkle Toes himself, Jenson Button, really gets into the swing of things, doesn't he? Really brilliant stuff indeed there. And just now on board with Troy, who's on soft tires at the moment, as Samba going quite close to the back of the quite close to the pit barrier then. And now just going down into turn at number 9 and 10 now is Troy. I've got a dead leg, that's not good. Troy then, who is, let's see, I think he's just testing the track conditions at the moment, isn't he? So he's going to just see if Knowles' hunch is right about the track conditions there. Of course, Knowles out qualifying at the moment, unfortunately, but he will have a major factor to play in the race, I'm sure of it. Remember, Knowles is one driver who is supreme in the wet. Of course, if anyone remembers the Canadian Grand Prix back in season 2 there, where it was Emerson against Knowles in the battle for the Grand Prix win. If that Canadian Grand Prix was 5 or so laps longer, Knowles would have won that race over Emerson because he had the superior tyres. That choice said, well, he had the superior driving performance as well, didn't he, back then as well. And then now then is really just as Troy is looks like he's still trying to see if we can get something else going here, but I think it might be in vain here, and this is a good opportunity to adjust me hair piece. There we go. I do need a bit of me mop trimmed, don't I really? As I've got to say, I look like Chesney Hawkins. I am not the one and only though, but I am a one-hit wonder. We've got Samba. Let's see what Samba's doing. He's 2 seconds down. He's also invalidated his time as well. No one else has gone out on the intermediate tyres there. And as you can see, it is getting drier out there, but it's not. I don't think it's dry enough for anyone to go quicker, is it? It's the two Aston Martins are 3rd and 5th, and that's a very good start to this Australian Grand Prix. Anyone who's got them in the fancy league team, they're going to be jumping hoops, aren't they, for the British-based team then. Troy is 0.3 of a second down the first sector, which shows it is drying up then for Troy, but it's a checkered flag has fallen here in Australia. Sly Guy could be on pole position for the 2nd time this season, then. So good stuff indeed, and the 2nd time in a row as well, so good stuff indeed there for Sly Guy. Unfortunately, that qualifying session ended on a bit of a damp squib then, or maybe a bit of a damp track potentially then. Serious Russian asking that Chesney Hawkins, the scientist, then. I think that was Coldplay, my good sir. I am a big fan of Coldplay as well, then. But I do not. But of course, unfortunately, what we do need is a yellow car on the circuit, don't we? Really, so I was trying to find a pun there, and I think I was going into the deep dark despairs there, and not really worried about what I was going to say there. Troy, who is not really. Look, it stopped raining here. So is anyone going to be able to snatch pole position for under the nose cone here? A Sly Guy. Troy coming out of the final turn as well. I think that this time might have been compromised. Yes, he has improved by half a second. Oh my goodness me, knows he was correct there. He knew it. He knew that there was time in the piggy bank, and there definitely is indeed. And Emerson out of the final turn then. Can Emerson now find a way then? We've got Sly Guy out there as well. Crazy Bill and Fuji's finish this up, and Emerson's on pole position there. Fantastic stuff indeed. What about Danger Times coming across the line as well? Danger Times is second fast at the moment. Incredible stuff, but on Danger second as well at the moment. What about the Epic the Animal? Epic the Animal then, who was unhappy about the original qualifier. Look at that, he snatched it by less than a tenth of a second there. But Sly Guy's faster still by 4/10 of a second. Incredible stuff indeed then. Samba has really made a oh goodness me, is Kylie Minogue impression there. Fantastic. And wow, incredible qualifying in the end there. But it was Sly Guy who they knew that the track was drying out, and fantastic stuff indeed then. And it was Sly Guy who's on pole position there by 3/10 of a second there from Epic, who's second there, but it looks like he got held up in traffic there. Emerson just a whisker behind Epic in third position, with Andenge in fourth, and best qualifying performance of the season for Andenge. Great stuff. Danger Times the championship leader down in fifth position, with Troy in sixth, Supreme Samba caught out by the weather conditions in seventh there, Chaz in eighth, Jar in ninth, and Crazy Bill only did one lap on a very damp track in 10th position. Slayer then, who's starting to sing a bit of Kylie Minogue there. Lewis is loving that. Fantastic qualifying. Great drivers. They really are indeed. And that was supreme stuff, how they knew about that then. And Keza is singing a bit of Dead or Alive to me. Fantastic stuff indeed. Right, let's get on with the race itself. We have heard that it's going to be a wet race here in Australia. Of course, we've had wet races over the years, and 2010 comes to mind straight from the get-go. We had a very wet qualifying session 2013 and 14, didn't we? Goodness gracious me. But of course, oh my golly gosh, look at that then. Goodness me, I'm going to be like a fish out of water, or maybe a fish in water now, as it is absolutely bucking it down here in Australia. It's absolutely horrific track conditions. There's 4 wet tyres and for Nosey by the looks of things, as his tyres have been left very much on display there, which is very rude indeed for the Mercedes drivers, isn't it? For the Mercedes mechanics. I think Nosey and Emerson are going to be very unhappy about that, of their tyres being left out for everyone to see then. Wet tyres for everyone. Dylan is saying then, break a leg, Serious Westman saying, let's hope they don't break a leg, but it is very horrific conditions indeed, as we're just waiting for the players to get themselves into their cars for the start of the Grand Prix then. And it's, oh goodness me, I think that Boreham Wood have just beaten Bournemouth, haven't they? Goodness gracious me, fantastic stuff. Anyway, enough about the FA Cup then. Let's go on with the racing, shall we? So here we go then. It's wet tyres for everyone here, and it is appalling conditions out there then. So let's go for the grid, shall we, from front to back then. So Sly Guy on pole position for the second time in a week then. Of course, he got pole position in Saudi Arabia. Now he's got pole position in Australia as well then. He must like the streak. Oh goodness me, and Sly Guy's operating the pole sitter has spun the car. Remember what happened? Well, I think Prost spun the car on the formation lap in the San Marino Grand Prix in 89 or 1990. Goodness me. Well, Sly Guy has done exactly the same on the Ferrari. Luckily for Sly Guy, as he's disqualified as well. Luckily for Sly Guy, if you spin the car on the formation lap, you do not drop to the back of the field then, but he is on pole position then for the Australian Grand Prix, second pole position in a row. He's going to be on very cold tyres there, so that's not going to help him too much there. Epic the Animal is second then alongside him on row 1. Emerson, the double world champion, in third position. Andenge in fourth position then in the Alfa Romeo. Fifth position is Danger Times with Troy in sixth position. Samba is in seventh then, just behind his teammate Chaza in eighth position. Jar in ninth position, or is it Jar in ninth position? 10th position is Crazy Bill there. Just behind his teammate is Sloth in 11th position. 10th position is Curtis in 12th position is Curtis. 13th position is Knowles. Remember, he's very good in these wet weather conditions, isn't he? He goes and say he's very much a surfer, isn't he? We've got Cardboy in 14th position now. 15th is Blaze, and the man who's second the World Championship, who's won 2 Grand Prix so far this season. He's going to have to have a race of his life then to get a win tonight then. Lewis in 16th position. Challenging conditions then for Lewis then. Emu there in 17th position in his debut. Dalton in 18th position. He had a humongous smashing qualifying. Added Blaze as well, but both cars have been repaired and ready to go then. 10 out of 10 there for Sig, is saying for Sly Guy's spin there. And Julian is in at 19th position, also making his debut as well tonight. And Bradfield also out of to get formation lap here then. So Epic then is second on the grid then. Sly Guy is ready there, racing for those 5 lights to go out here as we go for one more time in Australia. Remember, next week we're off to Imola, which I'm really looking forward to because It's first time that Hyperdrive is racing around there, and I'm absolutely going to love that. Of course, it's a classic circuit area. We haven't raced there. Hyperdrive's never raced there at all, but on the last time I was on an F1 game was 2006, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me then. Julian then is now just lining up at 19th on the grid for the Williams car. Then Williams is second and 19th on the grid. Then is look at the rain. The heavens have opened here in Australia. It's absolutely a deluge out there. Look, there's puddles all over the circuit here tonight then. My goodness gracious me. And there is the track conditions then, as we're just now waiting for those lights to come on then, there they are then. We have 4 sets of lights, we have 5, and there's going to be a pause, and we are go! It's go, 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 down under for the Australian Grand Prix, and Sligo gets away nicely as well, but Epic is alongside him. Epic's had a great second phase, and then he takes the lead, and there's a crash at the back, and it's Curtis out of the race, and Curtis has gone off in a major way, and Chaz has got a 5-second penalty. It's a safety car, an appalling start here, and Lewis is dropped down to 18th position as well. Chaz has gone, I'm not sure if Chaz has seen the lights or whatnot, but when Sligo lost the lead, then Epic leads the Australian Grand Prix. Sligo down to second position, and Chaz, why has he got he's got a 5-second penalty for some reason. I'm trying to figure out why. Hang on a minute, I'm a little behind. He's got a 5-second penalty, Chaz has then, and I'm not sure why that is then. And then that is appalling start indeed then. Goodness gracious me then. And it's Kez saying, oh, Division 2 all over again. Turn 1 safety car, same as Division 2, unfortunately. But we've got a lot of debris on the circuit then to be cleared up by the Australian marshals then. So it's status quo with Emerson and Danger Times. However, the 2 Aston Martins have swapped around there now. And Samba 6, Troy down the 7th, and Jar in 8th position. Soft is up 2 positions as well. Blaze going up 4 positions. Goodness me, he's taken off like a scored cat out there. Good stuff indeed then. Chaz is down 5 positions. It looks like he didn't move there. And Curtis there, looks like he's gone to the back of him somehow then. But Curtis out of the Grand Prix. It's going to be Furious in the Haas car, unfortunately. The other swap around is the major one, which Epic leads the Grand Prix with Sligo in second at the moment. We are expecting a full wet race then here in the Australian Grand Prix. However, will we get intermediate tires later on this race? That at the moment there's going to be no thinking of intermediate tires, I'm sure of it, because this rain is coming down, raining cats and dogs out here in the land of the Down Under so far. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a drier running later on then. But however, this Division 1 is a Division 1 event that has been very much about the weather, hasn't there, and how appalling it has been so far. Let's see who comes in the pits, and I'm expecting quite a number of cars to come in the pits because there's a lot of debris on the circuit, and Chazza is one of them who's coming in the pits. And I would like to see what happened to Chazza, because it looks like, because he was in 8th position, I'm sure he was, on the start of the grid then, and Curtis was down in 12th position there, but he's coming in the pits and he's going on to 4 wet tires. Only Chaz is in the pits then, so impressive how no one else got caught up in that then. Kez is saying a very good start there from Epic. He got a very good start indeed, didn't he then? There's Chaz, who's changing the nose cone as well on the Red Bull, and he's now coming out of the pits, and he's going to, of course, no chance for a change on the intermediate tires yet. The Aston Martin safety car is now controlling the pace on that 2 out of 29 here in Australia. Look at that. That's absolutely appalling conditions there. I think that, to be fair, I think this race in real life may be red flagged then. As you can see, look at those puddles all over the circuit in the start-finish straight here. My goodness gracious me, then. Absolutely appalling conditions out there, to say the very least, then. Incredible stuff. So Chaz does have a reprieve here. Unfortunately, who doesn't have a reprieve is Curtis. He is the first victim of the Australian Grand Prix Season 7 here for Hyperdrive, so that's unfortunate indeed then. It's the Ford Puma safety car, unfortunately, is out then, as Serious Russian loves the Ford Puma. 6N, to be fair, Sly had a decent start considering the fact he got disqualified on the formation lap. He did do really well, didn't he? The second phase, unfortunately, where you need the grip. The initial launch was absolutely perfect for Sly Guy, but the second phase there, where you needed the grip and the tires to bite into the track, that didn't happen for Sly Guy, did it? That means he has lost the Grand Prix at the moment. Sly Guy has, but he's had 2 pole positions in the last 2 races. But can he recover and take the Grand Prix win there for Epic? This is going to get very interesting indeed then. Very interesting indeed then, as just now on board with Epic then, is he is leading the Grand Prix at the moment then. Let's see how this would go. If Michael Massey was in charge, it would be 3 laps of racing then. Well, goodness gracious me, it definitely would indeed, wouldn't it really? Because Michael, I think that these conditions are very reminiscent of the the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa back in 2021. It's absolutely horrific conditions out there. Goodness gracious me then. But luckily we don't have Michael Massey in charge. We do have Farf in charge, and of course, so Farf is not going to stop the race for a little bit of the wet stuff, is he? Of course, Farf then, I hope he's doing all right tonight. And of course, his little young man is not feeling too well. He's got an ear infection, which is absolutely awful thing to have, isn't it? So I hope we got fingers crossed for Farf that his young man gets better. Of course, fantastic stuff for Farf. I think he's still hosting the log, which is absolutely great stuff indeed. Then, so that is the strength of the man. Then doing a really good stuff indeed. Then, of course, I think the Farf is very much a admin that is always there, isn't he? There, so really good stuff indeed there for Farf, and he's been doing this job for 18 years now, hasn't he? There, so good stuff indeed there for Farf. I'll give him a good old thumbs up there. Good stuff. We've got Epic at the moment who's leading this race, and hopefully the safety car will be back in the end of the lap then, because we've now got Chaz who's caught up to the back of the crocodile here. So Chaz has got a lot of work to do now, hasn't he, to get himself back into maybe point scoring position then. But Chaz has had a pretty disappointing start, hasn't he? No disrespect to Chaz there, but I see that disappointing start. He has scored. He has scored in the 2 races he's been a part of, but however he has had minus points last time out in the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. So hopefully Chaz can get himself some more points because he has scored every single race so far. But he's only got 10 points on our score sheet at the moment. Safety car is in the end of the lap then, so let's get going, shall we? As now we've got Epic then, who is just starting to warm up these wet tires. These tires still need to have a bit of temperature in them to get them very grippy on the old tarmac, and then we'll be back racing then. Epic, the animal, leads then, and how is he going to drop the hammer down as well then for Epic? Is he going to wait till the final turn then, or is he going to try and bolt when the drivers are not ready then? Well, we're going to find out then. And Epic then is going to let the safety car, he cannot overtake until the safety car has passed the safety car 1 line then, and then Epic can now go. And of course that is a rule that has been a part of F1 for quite a while, hasn't it there? Of course, you're not overtaken until the start-finish line either. So Epic has let the safety car go. The safety car is now into the pit entry, and we'll be back racing once again. And Epic is not gone just yet, though, has he? And he is taking it very... Look at that then. So Epic is not going. He's waiting till the start-finish line. Right, look at these. Look at them. They're queuing. And now Epic's going in. And now he's going in. And it's going to be between Emerson and the Sly Guys. Right, so we're going for the lead. Emerson's going for the lead. Down into second position. Down into turn 1 here. And that Sly Guy's on the outside then. And Sly Guy just about keeps it there. Danger Times and Danger going wheel to wheel. And Danger's not got any points just yet. Danger Times leads the World Championship. Then it's a very precarious situation now for the World Championship leader. Danger Times up the inside. Is he going to the back of Emerson now? I think he's just about break then, and then just lost 2 positions there, and he's getting and who's that? That's one of the Aston Martins who's just been forced off the circuit. I think it's Troy, or was it Samba? I'm not sure. Now Danger Times has now lost out to Andenj again, and it's Andenj is back up into 4th position. Magnificent stuff indeed. Going down into turn 6, magnificent stuff. As we've got Blazes now moving south into the 9th finish, but he's gone wide, he's gone deep, he's over the grass. The grass is going to be saturated in terms of the wet, and look at that, there's a swirling between there. They're almost out of control. There's a crazy build then who just couldn't get past. We've got Dalton up the inside. He's gone for a lunge. That Mercedes in front of Knowles. He's also going across the grass as well. And Knowles trying to get out of the way here because I think he's had an appalling run there. And now we've got as Curtis has left the session there, unfortunately. And that yellow flag is for Knowles, who's had some issues there in the background in the Mercedes car. And that's a big blow indeed. Then just back on board with Julian now as well. As Julian is all over the back now of Daunton there. Daunton there, who is trying to defend the inside. He's a bit too far in front then for Julian. And Julian making his debut tonight. Knowles is really cruising then, so there's some major issues then. So then coming up to complete lap 4 here in the Australian Grand Prix. It's Epic who leads that 2nd position. Sly Guy, 3rd position is Emerson. Andenj in 4th position now. Danger Times needs to get past Andenj at that moment in time, didn't he? There, and he sees his teammates now in 10th position. I'm sure he does then, because you do get updates, don't you, from your team, and I think that he probably knows that Blaze, albeit the McLaren team are almost double for the points of 2nd position, the constructors at the moment now. However, of course, the Drivers' Championship, there's only 5 points separating them so far, and Blaze on the outside, magnificent stuff. It's a blaze of glory for Blaze, and he's now into 9th position, passes Sloth, and away he goes, and good stuff indeed there for the McLaren driver. Absolutely mega stuff indeed, and so Blaze is now up into a supreme 9th position, and Samba, who's currently dropped behind his teammate Troy at the moment, and the 2 new Aston Martin drivers, and let's see how the dynamic is so far. Is Samba got damaged? No, he hasn't. One of the Aston Martin drivers was almost forced into the barrier, weren't they? Into the exit of turn 4, I think it was, wasn't it there? So it was, Samba has had a bit of a squirrel there. And now he's going to lose out to Jar. Jar's at the inside then. He's going to take the maneuver into turn number 10 as well. No, listen, this line, but he's gone wide then. Jar's on the outside. They're going to squeeze it into the wall. Not quite, and he gives himself just much room there. Slotfen has got in front of Crazy Bill, I think, and all the other way around. And now Blaze is all over the back of him as well. And Jar going to have a look then. He's going to compromise his entry and exit though, because now look at this, Blaze is all over the back of him in the McLaren there. And Dalton, Cardboy's dropping down the order as well. And look at this, but we've still got Blaze who's going for it. He's having a look there, but Jar closes the door. Of course, he's got every right to do so. But what about Crazy Bill? Crazy Bill has sent it past his teammate, and Daunton is in trouble. He is spinning around the wrong way. He is spun around. I wonder if he got a helping hand then from one of the cars behind then, because it was getting very cozy at the back there. Chances up in the 14th position there. Good stuff indeed then. As Daunton has just dropped right down to 18 positions. Down a bit of a nightmare season, unfortunately, Daunton is at the moment, isn't he? Which is such a shame. And back on board then with the Ferrari driver as well, as he is now going over the grid hatch as well into the pits comes Sloth. So Sloth has got some major damage there. What we expect in terms of the strategy around here, to be honest, I don't really know, to be fair, which is absolutely useless stuff for a commentator, isn't there? But there we go. Chaz now in the 12th position, using those fresher wet tyres. Just about Cartboy's on the intermediate tyres as he's having a gamble at this stage. Is Chaz going to? No, he's okay. So now out of the pits, here comes Sloth. Cartboy coming down the pits as well. Knowles had to pit earlier on as well. Epic then, who currently has who's going for his first Grand Prix win of Division 1 then. At the moment, he is leading this race then with Sligo in second position and Emerson in third then, and Denges in fourth at the moment, and he is now starting to become a cork in the bottle then for the drivers behind him. And look at Danger Toms, he's sailed off there, and that's going to entice Troye here. And look at this, and so now Danger Toms is going to have to get is now going to have to get a very defensive there into turn 12, and no DRS of course in these wet weather conditions, and it's absolutely a deluge out there. And these drivers then, this is a test of man, machine and mentality as well, as we've got Daunton who's off the circuit there again, and Dalton. But unfortunately, whatever the case may be, unfortunately he is around the wrong way in the Haas car, and he's really struggling at the moment as well, isn't he? Sig saying it's a bit early for the wet, intermediate tyres. That is, Dylan points out that Cartboy is on these intermediate tyres at the moment there, isn't he? Goodness gracious me, that. And as Julian, Sirius Rush said, Julian's a very quick customer. He is indeed, isn't he? Because that's another fast up the race as we come across the line once again. Lap 7 of the 29 here in the Grand Prix. I haven't even reached half distance yet there, as the intermediate tyres has just been in the line. It's not the right way to go at the moment there, as unfortunately Cartboy has now lost out to Knowlesy, who, and of course, Knowlesy kind of caught him hand over fist there, and he's lost 8/10 of a second on one part of the circuit alone now. Samba, who is still behind his teammate at the moment there, so I wonder if there's going to be any team orders then in the Aston Martin pit garage at the moment. I don't think there is at this moment in time, and it's a bit too early, isn't it, in the race then, because Danger Tom's because Andenge is causing a bit of a queue behind him at the moment. Then, as you can see, there's as we have got about 5 cars behind Ange. Ange is dropping 2.2 seconds at the moment. Then Emerson has dropped back as well, so top 3 have now got a second between each other as they're starting to space out. And then in the early stages of the Grand Prix, Daunton is now in the pit lane, and he's going on to the wet wear tyres as well, as Samba getting a bit ragged there on the exit of turn 10 then, using a bit of the grass and then some there. Unfortunately, a lot of drivers are agreeing about the intermediate tyres are too early, and Cardboy's lost 2 seconds now to Knowlesy in the space of a lap, less than a lap as well. Look at that, and you can see that the rain's actually getting heavier at this stage here in Australia, so I'm wondering if we may have to neutralise the race then from a safety point of view. I think on one of the last games it rained very heavy, that the safety car had to come out, didn't it, as well, so we may have that again here tonight. However, it is still anyone's ball game at the moment. Sirius Rush saying it should be a good 10 laps here. It should be a good fun 10 laps, and it's we're on lap 7 out of 28 at 9 here. Epic the Animal sets another fast lap race, and Jar's had a contribution that Blaze is in the pit side, so he's the first driver to come in the pit side, and is he rolling the dice, or is there a problem then for the McLaren driver? He's coming into the pit side, and the wet tyres are still available for the Woking team into the pit. Then he's got no damage there. Samba's got a 3-second penalty there, and Andenge has lost out to Danger Tom. That is an important manoeuvre there for the championship leader. His teammates coming to the pit side, and Blaze is dropping all the way down to 15th position. Now, he ain't going to drop any further because Sloth is at almost half a minute back at the moment. Danger Toms is now in at 4th position. Bradfield all over the back of Lewis at the moment. Bradfield and Lewis was near the back of the field. Then 16th and 20th, I think they started the Grand Prix. At the moment, Lewis is now in 13th position. There. Bradfield in 14th. Cardboy has now lost another 2 seconds to Knowlesy in the last lap there. So I think that the intermediate tire's not the way to go. Let's see what Blaze is doing there. So Blaze is, Troy's made a mistake then, and now Sampa's through, and now we've also got Jar through as well. Goodness me, it's going to go wheel to wheel and going through. Oh my word, there! I thought it was going to be wheel to wheel there. I think Troy backed out of that one because he could see a horrific incident coming there, couldn't he? But good stuff indeed there for Troy. Absolutely incredible stuff, incredible awareness. But it was Samba who very much jumped on the mistake there from his teammate, and he is through number the 6th position. Good stuff indeed there for Samba. However, he does have a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. And Danger's next up the road then. They've not got DRS, of course, because it is too wet out there for the DRS zone, which means that they are going to have to do it the old-fashioned way here. Goodness gracious me there. As KD said, you do not have to go into the pits for the wet tire, for new wet tire. So I got to set the fast lap race. I'm wondering though if Blaze is feeling that the new wet tires may help him later on down the line. And it does depend if people are going to be able to stretch this and go to the end then or not. Then remember in the Singapore Grand Prix last season, a lot of drivers didn't. Some drivers came in the pits, other drivers don't. Man, I'm saying they think it's because undercut because the track position is vital at this moment in time. Of course, as we mentioned that because there is no DRS at the moment in time here in the Australian Grand Prix, of course. Breaking down into the Brundle turn now. Epic the Animal is a second and a half in front of Sly Guys. Sly Guys had a bit of a very much a hard first sector there. Emerson's 2.5 seconds back at the moment as well as he is trying to keep up with Epic and Sly Guys. Starting to pull away now. Danger Times out in 4th position and is extending his lead in the World Championship, which is what he needs to do at the moment, isn't it? And this Grand Prix. Troy, who's all over the back of Ajar. Remember, he lost out when he made a mistake at this point of the race earlier on there. And you can see then, look at the rain. It's just hanging in the air above the above Albert Park there. Cartboy is lost out to It's lost out to Daunton now. He's dropped down into 19th position, I should say. Julian has now got a penalty as well. So we've got 3 drivers with penalties. One is Blaze, it's Julian, and it's Samba. Unfortunately, all got penalties as well. Then, unfortunately, then it's KD. Blaze has shot himself in the foot, maybe. Unfortunately, for coming into the pits at that time. Then maybe Emerson's lost another second as well, and so Emerson also struggling to keep up with the battling duo at the moment. And back on board Bradfield at the moment. And he's in 14th position. And Bradfield is making his debut here tonight, and he's got a good run now over Lewis. And Epic is setting up fast up the race, and there's a top 2 in the league of their own at the moment. There's a great battle indeed between Epic and Sligo. Remember the battle for the Grand Prix when none of those 2 drivers have won a race so far yet in Division 1 then, but today could be the day, couldn't it? Just watching Bradfield then all over the back of Lewis, and he needs to get past Lewis as quickly as possible because the gap is now 7.7 seconds. He is losing a lot of time over Emu who is just in front of us. And look, there's Blaze in the background as well, and this is not what Blaze wanted here, because I think Blaze would like to have had a clear track here. No, it's not the case at all, is it? Dylan thinks that the no stop is quite OP here, and Blaze is at the fast side of the race, and Bradfield is up the inside, passes Lewis, and Jobs are good on it, wherever. Lewis is trying to come back at him now then as well, and he's gone up in front underneath the rear wing now, and there. Look, Blaze is through, and Blaze is now going up the inside of Bradfield. Is he going to do it? He's done it, he's up into 14th position. Blaze outside, he's now got an 8.4 second on that track, but he's now got 4.8 seconds in front of MU in 12th position, so let's see how he can do. Samba now in 6th position, and Danger's still a bit of a cork in the bottle there. Danger Thompson is starting to whittle down the advance that Emerson has got at the moment, and the double world champion Emerson is at Danger Thompson, who's currently very much leading the world championship at this stage of proceedings, and it's had a supreme start to this to this championship season. This mega stuff indeed then. Yeah, so are we expecting safety cars, expecting stops? And I don't think we, by the sounds in the comments there, not a lot of people are expecting safety cars. I've got safety cars on the brain. Not a lot of people are expecting stops here at this stage of proceedings. And so the drivers with fresh, wet tyres is Blaze, is Sloth, Knowlesy, and Dodson, and Cartboy on the intermediate tyres. They're trying to roll the dice in, but the weather is still too much at the moment now, and the intermediate gamble is not paying off at all. Julian is in the pits as well, and so Julian also coming in the pits then, and slowing down to the 80 kilometres now speed limit. We'll see where he comes out later on then, Julian is, and as we're coming to the pit lane, he'll lose about 20 to 25 seconds in the pit lane. He is down in 12th position, Julian is, and Chadson now moves himself into 10th position there. So Troy then, who unfortunately lost out, didn't he, at this part of the circuit here a couple of laps ago, is down in 8th position here at the moment. Jar is coming in 7th, and here's Samba, who is in 6th position, and Andenge is causing all kinds of headaches here, isn't he? But this is an important race for Andenge to get himself into the points then and really start his season from here on in. And we've got still 20 races to go after this one. Goodness gracious me as well. Serious Ryan saying Kez has got safety cars on the brain too then. Safety car is living in Kez's head rent free then. Unfortunately that really cost Kez a lot, so didn't it, the safety cars there, and he was very vocal at the safety cars. We've had one safety car already here tonight. Let's hope we don't have any more. This race is very much finally balanced now. Sly Guy is starting to really put the hammer down now. Epic is going to have to start to think about getting defensive maybe later on, or later on in this Grand Prix, but the gap is under a second now, which is normally crucial in a dry race then, but in this wet race then it's not as crucial because the DRS will not be enabled then because it is too wet out there. The FIA is not going to enable the DRS in these conditions there, because look at that, this helicam shot is showing how appalling it is in these weather conditions there. The rain is going horizontal here in Melbourne tonight. Absolutely horrific scenes indeed then. But coming across the line, and Andens had a good slingshot then out of the final turn, and Jars had a good slingshot as well. They're making his debut tonight. Jars, he's in 7th position at the moment. Samba equally making his debut on here tonight in 6th position now, but Samba's got a second penalty. That's 6 seconds of penalties now, and that is going to drop him to 10th position, and that is not going to talk, because you'll see in the background Crazy Bill, and then you've seen a yellow-nosed Red Bull, and that is as Julian has just got past Lewis, who's dropped down into 15th position then in the AlphaTauri. Yeah, so Chaza is now up into 10th position, and really starting to reel these guys in here, hand over fist, and Anden just becoming the truly train here at this Grand Prix at the moment, isn't he? And just on board once again then with Jars. He's having a look going into turn 6, going into turn 10 I think it is. Nope, 9 will be a third time the charm, going into turn at number 10 now, but you can see at the moment he's just too far back at the moment. Chaz has got a 3-second penalty as well. He's pushing on, trying to get himself into this battle here at the moment there, but at this moment in time he's just slightly out there. Anden has made a mistake, and now here comes Samba. He's all over the back now. Samba is and look at this, and Samba, is he going for it? He's going for it. Look, he's going, have a look, he's too far back, I think. Not quite then, is he? Still too far back then. I thought he would have had a lunge there. Samba's in, but Samba caught making his debut tonight then, and is equal in MU then. Has got a 3-second penalty for a show as well. Carboy has admitted defeat, and he is back onto the wet tires, and we've got 5 drivers now on penalties. We'll take a look at those penalties later on in a minute then. Sly Guy is now under a second again then on Epic the Animal, but of course catching is one thing, passing it is quite another. We're going to see if Samba can, Samba's caught Andenge, but can he pass Andenge going into turn 1? Not quite then, as Andenge has still currently got the advantage. That has really come out of turn 2 as well. Look at this, Samba's all over the back now, and he's almost doing the Samba, isn't he? Andenge, he's going to go for the inside to Samba. No, he's going for the switch. Oh my goodness, and Andenge defending, and he may have cut across there. Sorry, Samba has got his elbows out, and now Jar is through as well on the outside. Not quite then, is Samba. Goodness gracious me, I wonder if Andenge cut across maybe there to maybe a bit ultra defensive there potentially. I'm not sure, but of course as I'm going to it's Troy out the inside as well. Andenge just gone from 5th down to 8th, and that's a crucial part of this race then for the drivers behind Andenge, because he was becoming a bit of a truly train, wasn't he, in this race, but that was getting very defensive indeed, wasn't there? Maybe Andenge was a bit too forceful on the defensive style there, but potentially, maybe, whatever the case, maybe Samba is through number 5th position there. Jar down into 6th, up into 6th, and Troy up into 7th. Good stuff indeed there. Just watching Crazy Bill and Chaza, who now like to get past Andenge as well, and Andenge is now got to recompose himself here. Oh, but Crazy Bill's on a horrific run now, and he's now dropped down into 10th position there, as Chaza makes his way up into 9th position. It's a supreme drive here from Chaza tonight. Absolutely lovely stuff indeed. Sly Guy is in the pits, and remember, some drivers are not expected to come in the pits, and I think that Sly Guy coming in there is quite a shock to the system now. Kez has said then that it lost himself more places by trying to defend so hard then. To go on Troy, lad, then. That was stupid defending there. Now Sly Guy, where's he going to come out then? He's lost an abundance amount of places here. He's down in 10th position now. So I'm wondering if Sly Guy is maybe covering off Blazer, but Blazer's almost out of the picture. There he is in the background there. I don't think he's nowhere. I don't think Blazer's not in this picture at all, is he? I'm surprised that Sly Guy is in the pit. So Danger Time is now in the 3rd position there, and potentially potentially could become on second here. Danger Times is been on the podium twice in the first 3 races here. He got 4th in Bahrain, so Danger Times is supreme so far this season. And another superb driving performance here from Danger Times. And he's at the moment now, we're only at half distance though, so I need to calm myself. But Danger Times could potentially be extended in the World Championship. He's been supreme this season, hasn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed there. So the comments are saying then that potentially Andenge may have over-defended there, but of course it's very easier said. It's easier said than done, isn't it? Where you're just sat in the dry, isn't there? But of course, all the drivers in the comments there, they are extreme talents, aren't they, in hyperdrive, so they know exactly what they're talking about. So maybe Andenge may have fought better off, but yes, then again, when you're in the heat of battle, though, it's very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult then. Chaz, who's currently in 8th position then, and then just in front of us, and the rain is still as heavy as ever at the moment then. Emerson's now 7 seconds behind Epic then, who is just waltzing away from this Grand Prix at the moment there. He's not having too much to worry about now with Sly Guy potentially taking himself out of the equation. Maybe we'll see if any of the other drivers come in the pits then. There's Sly Guy in the background there, but that may have been a strategical error for the Ferrari driver. But of course, we're only on lap 15. Anything can happen in this Grand Prix, and it usually does. Maybe a safety car may come out then and really spring a surprise then, but only 1 retirement so far, which is good stuff indeed in these appalling track conditions here tonight. Really good stuff indeed there from all drivers up and down the field. Really impressive stuff. And Danger Times then is now all over the back of the double world champion. Blaze has set the fast off the race then, as he's trying to hunt down Sly Guy and Crazy Bill, Andenge and Chazza in front of him. Lap 15 out of 29 here in this race then. Epic the animal. Ooh, Danger Time's getting a bit squirrely there. Almost finding the puddle of the McLaren driver is that Epic leads the Grand Prix of Emerson in 2nd position at the moment. Danger Time's in 3rd with Samba in 4th. 5th position is Jar. Troy in 6th position. Andenge is 7th at the moment. 8th is Chazza. Crazy Bill is 9th. Sly Guy is in 10th position. He has pitted. He's the first driver to pit, apart from Chazza, who pitted on lap 1, of course. 11th position is Blaze then. 12th position is Crazy Bill's got past. Chazza's had some issues there, and he's dropped down the order. Chazza has that. And Chazza, is he gone into the wall somewhere? I'm not sure what's happened to Chazza there, but that is difficult indeed. And we've got Loggy Wilson, who is a new follower. Welcome, my good sir. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're enjoying the action here tonight then. Of course, it's a very tense affair as well. Sly Guy has now got past Chazza, moving up to 9th position. Job was good in there, but Chazza was limping, wasn't he? There were some issues there for Chazza. Unfortunately, as he had, I'm not sure what's happened there for Chazza, but he just dropped down the order. Crazy Bill's up to 8th position. Supreme stuff indeed for Crazy Bill. Once again, then driving supremely well. Fantastic. Back here, and there's Troy is very much still in the facility of Andenge here, isn't it? So Troy has not got away too yet. And sorry guys, set the fast up of the race so far. That's a bonus point wherever you finish in the Grand Prix here tonight. Then, so of course that's fast up. That could very much become a bit of a qualifying end to this race. And of course, where you can throw on a new set of tyres and go for that fastest lap. Then, of course, our bonus point may help you as. Troy, we thought that Troy was dropping back, and he is dropping back there, because look, Andenge is back through now, and he's back past it, as Troy is struggling at this stage of proceedings, and Andenge back into 6th position. This is his best result so far, his best race so far for Andenge, doing a supreme job out there. He's driving superbly well. Julian's just got past Bradfield and moved on to 13th position there. Julian, Blaze and Sly Guy have all come to the pits voluntarily in this Grand Prix. Everyone else has stayed out, or they've had to force to come in because of damage or something along those lines. And Sly Guy's all over the back of Crazy Bill, and we're on board with Sly Guy, who is on pole position for the Grand Prix, but it's starting to slip away from him again then, just like in Saudi Arabia. Remember, he had a technical ground then, but Sly Guy is through and past this Crazy Bill, moving up into 8th position. Now Crazy Bill didn't fight too much though on that one, did he? As I think that he got yellow flags. We've got yellow flags just up the road there. I think, his cardboard just going away and good something there. Crazy Bill didn't fight that one too hard, did he? I think that he knows that it's all about the long game here. Crazy Bill is thinking that. Sly Guy now to 8th position. And next target is Troy, who is fighting for all the marbles here. Samba's in the pits, then. So Samba's in the pits. He's had enough of those wet tyres. And look at the understeer on that Ferrari there. He's really struggling there to get the power down out of the final turn. And Danger Times down for the 4th position there. Sorry, Danger Tom's on the third, I should say. Then it's Jaro's on the fourth position now. Troy getting a bit square. Then Sly Guy is much quicker at this stage of the season because he's got fresh tyres. And Blaze is in the top 10 then. As Samba's come out in that position, he's going to get in front of Equally Emu then, locking up both front tyres. And Sly Guy is, and he is really pushing. He's really pushing at the moment there, isn't he, to try and get past Troy and Andedge, because this is a crucial part of the Grand Prix now for Sly Guy. Well, in terms of the battle between himself, he's 21 seconds behind the leader Epic, so he is gaining on Epic if Epic did want to come in the pits. Then, however, will Epic roll the dice? I'm not sure if he will, to be honest. But to be honest, because I think that there's maybe a gamble too far then for the podium sitters anyway. Jar is 7 seconds away from Danger Times. Well, now supreme debut here tonight. Jar is lovely stuff indeed there. Oh, getting a bit squirrely then. Sly Guy is he's getting the power on a bit too fruity there. But he's now this is where he overtook Crazy Bill last time then. But Troy, of course, he didn't have a good near enough a good run last time out then. But goodness me, he's got a great run now out to number of 12, and Sly Guy's through and moves past Troy and up into sixth position there. So Sly Guy making his moves in early, nice and early then. Of course, there's a crucial part, and of course you don't want to get stuck behind the driver too long. Of course, otherwise you will get you'll get stuck behind there. As Nigel Mansell said, you want to make your move nice and early then, otherwise you'll get in a rhythm. The driver in front of you will get into a rhythm and then make it easier to defend against you. And Troy's had a bit of a swirl on now the final turn 16 there. Luckily, it caught to then goodness gracious team that, and going in to turn number one. Then Crazy Bill then too far back, unfortunately. Blaze is set now fast out the race, and he's really lining up the track now as well. As we've got Loggy Wilson then having a chit chat with Serious Much and cracking stuff indeed, guys. And of course, keep your comments coming in, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very enthralling race. Only one retirement so far on lap 18 out of 29, and it's very much edge of your seat races with this. And this is very much about strategy, very much about skill. This one is trying to keep it on the island here in Albert Park. Then it's very tough. It's been a tough old race, hasn't it, from Davidson side? It's been a tough old race for a lot of the for the Davidtons and for these other 19 drivers as well. Unfortunately, Curtis didn't really break much of a sweat as he was out of the race before he even got to turn one. Unfortunately, only one safety car so far as well. Sly Guy is now all over the back once again then of this time of Andenge. Then Andenge, is he going to go defensive? Not quite, and he's doing a lot of harvesting though. I don't think you use as much electrical entry in these conditions, do you? As Logie Will said, it's just asked what's everyone's favourite team, and of course Serious Mushrooms is McLaren, and then apparently McLaren are doing very well in the Constructors' Championship in Division 1. They're almost double the points of the second place car, which I think is the Williams, isn't it? And look at this Sly Guy having a look now, no dice at the moment. There's Andenge is not going to give up this one too easily, is he? As Julian has now just got past the Red Bull car of Equaling Emu there, and jobs are good. And look at this, and as Andenge is still fighting, isn't he? Now Sly Guy is going this way now. He's going to go on the outside. Look at that, that's fantastic. He's going to get a run, is he? Nope, because Andenge. And now he's gone back in the slipstream as well, and Sly Guy has a look at this. He's just trying to use this push to pass, which is not a push to pass feature. And Sly Guy's going this way and that way, and they're just on the outside, and Sly Guy's done it, magnificent manoeuvre, and he is now up into fifth position now. Andenge dropping down to sixth, and great defending from Andenge, great attacking drive from Sly Guy as well, the old switcheroo, and he is now up into fifth position now for the Ferrari driver. Next target is Jar, and he is going to be back up into fourth position and only 6 seconds away from Danger Times here then. So what is that doing to the lead then in this race? He's got 21 seconds still then, so at the moment Epic is able to keep the lead then. So Sly Guy may potentially, if he can get himself back up in the second, he may be happy with that then. He is quick at the moment. Oh, getting a bit squirrely though, isn't he? Charles then, who is all over the back of Crazy Bill as well, and is Charles made a mistake earlier on then and has dropped back behind Crazy Bill. Troy, Crazy Bill and Charles just can't seem to get past at the moment, can they? Goodness gracious me then. Incredible stuff then this one has been. Incredible driving, and it's been up and down the field. Supreme stuff indeed. Katie's saying push the pass is the IndyCar. Then I just, yeah, I know. Well, it used to be Champ Cars, didn't it, back in the day then? But yes, push the pass, albeit it's the ERS and the ERS electric recovery system as well. Julian has got a 3-second penalty on 44 strokes, and I keep seeing debris coming out of turn 13 then for some reason. It's the same great move from Sly Guy. It was Supreme at the way he set him up then. And then it's not an easy driver to pass, and as Troy Troy, Crazy Bill and Chazza have all experienced in this Grand Prix. Sly Guy, of course, on fresher wet tyres, and however, then he did a great performance, a great dummy there, and a good old switchback. It was supreme stuff indeed. And Sly Guy's now back up in 5th position. His next target is his teammate Jar, who's doing a great job in 4th position. He's going to let his teammate by then. Well, that's going to be the question that we're going to be finding out in the not too distant future. And then once again, then getting a bit wobbly at the moment there. They're just down into turn 7 as well. Good stuff indeed. Then Crazy Bill in 8th position, and 9th position is Chaz. Then we've got a bit of a queue of cars now, haven't we, between 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. And Blaze is going to be catching up with hand over fist, and there he is. He's now under 3 seconds away. Then the McLaren driver is good stuff indeed. Then Slayer is saying that Sly Guy has messed up pitting. I think the best he can do is second, I think, and it'd be incredible if we get up to Epic the Animal with just under 10 laps to go. That'd be mega stuff indeed. Then mega stuff. Because it's saying then that the Epic has got this covered. Then great pace by him. Because it's saying then great stuff indeed. Then for Epic, he's I think it's been a textbook performance from Epic. Really good stuff indeed. Then I've had some chicken today, like I don't know, like chicken bite kind of things. They keep repeating on me at the moment. Oh my goodness me! Gosh, that keeps repeating on me at the moment. So yeah, I'm getting a bit hungry then. So you know where I'm going after this race. I'm going to be right in the fridge then. Lap 21 out of 29 here. Epic is now 11 seconds up the road from Emerson in 2nd position, and Danger Tom's in 3rd. Jar is 4th at the moment, and Sly Guy is in 5th position, gaining on his teammate. And Troy, Bill and Chazza have been supreme in this. Have been very much supreme in this race, haven't they? They've very much been the stars of the show. Blaze in the background has cut the gap down by almost half of what it was. And look at that, there he is in the background, 1.5 seconds there. From this battling quadret here. Quadret? Or is it duo? No, is it quadret? It's quadret, isn't it? I have no idea, man. Unfortunately, I've never passed maths, so I don't even have any common sense either. Chaz has a lot of common sense now. Let's see if he can get himself back up into 8th position. And look at the penalties. So we've got Chazza, Blaze, Samba, Julian, Equally Mew, and Bradfield, as well as Daunton and Sloth. Then all got penalties. Then good stuff indeed to the drivers that are still in this race as well. And because they've only got one retirement so far, Danger Times is again starting to have another battle between himself and Emerson there. Emerson will be happy with 2nd today, when he's very much the percentage game for Emerson there. In stats wise, stats and just in terms of the history, Emerson is of course the most successful driver in this division. Absolutely supreme stuff indeed, a double world champion, and he's won just over 1/3 of his Grand Prix starts he has started in. Incredible stuff indeed then. And whoa, Charles is off the circuit, but he's kept on, but Blaze is through, and up into 9th position he goes, and Charles are then very close indeed there. Goodness gracious me indeed there. So just now on board with Blaze once again then. Loggy Wilson has asked, what is our favourite F1 team then? Hyperdrive's favourite F1 team then. Oh, that's my personal view. What is my favourite F1 team? I gotta say, I don't really have one, because I love the sport more than I don't really have a favourite team, to be honest. And I do have a soft spot for McLaren, mainly because I used to be a good old David Coulthard fan way back when I first started watching F1. I do like the Williams team as well. I love the Enstone team, of course, which is now the Alpine team. I must admit, I was anti-Ferrari when I first started watching F1, mainly because they used to win almost everything. And of course, it was Jean Todt and Ross Brawn then very much pulling the strings of the Scuderia team way back then. But of course, I also love Ferrari now as well. You cannot love Formula without loving Ferrari, can you? You do like the Sauber Alfa Romeo team. They've been in it since 1993 now, haven't they? Goodness gracious me. Yes, very much. I love all teams, to be honest. I also love the teams of yesterday as well. I do like the Simtech team. I don't know why. I just really like their old colour scheme as well, of course, when they had the MTV sponsor in 94 and 95. But I think I should be talking about this race rather than 94 and 95. Blaze has got past and moved past Crazy Bill and up into 8th position. Now, Blaze has done it, and good stuff indeed then. So Blaze does a good job. Jar has just dropped behind Sly Guy, and of course, that's I think that Sly Guy is just on the march now. He's doing a good job indeed then, Sly Guy. Back in the full position. It's a great recovery drive from Sly Guy, but a lot of drivers in the comments feel that maybe feel that maybe Sligo may have cost himself a Grand Prix win here. Epic the Animal still leads the race then, as it stands one, and Blaze is now in 8th position, and we're just on board now with the McLaren driver then. No more safety cars since we had a safety car on the opening lap then, but the rain is still relentless as ever, and over the DRS line, which is not, unfortunately, it's not going to be a factor in this one, or fortunately, depending on your point of view on the gimmick overtake, or if you like it or not. Of course, it came into fruition in the Grand Prix scene back in 2011, didn't it? Goodness gracious me then. Oh, that's a car off. That's Crazy Bill who's hit the barrier. And now that's going to be an opportunity then for Chaz to go on the outside of the Alpine car, but Crazy Bill defending. Oh, and now Chaz has gone to the back end. Now can Samba on fresh wet tyres now be able to strike whilst the iron's hot here. Goodness gracious me then. On board now with Chazza, who is all over the back of Crazy Bill, but I think it'd be a very optimistic manoeuvre going into turn 6 there. So Chazza thinks better of it, and we've also got Blaze, who's now all over the back of Troy in 8th position there. Blaze has done a good recovery drive from Blaze, but he's going to lose an abundance amount of points to his championship challenger, which is a teammate at the moment, and now his teammate Danger Tom is currently 3rd in this Grand Prix. Sloth has got a 3-second time penalty. We've got yellow flag then as Sloth is off the circuit. Unfortunately, he has had some major issues in the second Alpine car as he is trying to get himself back on track. There's not going to be a safety car. I think he's still able to go. He is still able to go. Samba on the inside of Chazza. Chazza's dropped down into 11th position now. Chazza, and it's been a bit of a slog this race as for Chazza. And Samba now up into Bradfield is out of the race, and there's going to be a safety car then on lap 23. It is, and goodness me, this is going to get very interesting. Bradfield is off and out of turn 10, and he is out of the Grand Prix, and that is not good at all. So we've got pit action then. So into the pits then comes Troy. Blaze is in the pits as well, but Crazy Bill and Chaz have all come to the pits. Is anyone else going to come to the pits here? This is really going to be really thrown a cat amongst the pigeons now here in the Grand Prix. Intermediate tyres for Blaze then. Interesting, as of course earlier on we seen Cardboard try the intermediate tyres. That didn't work out too well at all. What is Epic going to do here? He's got a 14-second gap over himself and Emerson, but he has to adhere to the safety car delta here. Otherwise, he will get a drive-through penalty there. Goodness gracious me. Loggy Wilson, oh no. Keds are saying, oh, not another Bradfield crash. So I can't say Keds tonight. Goodness gracious me, what's going on? We've got intermediate tyres then for MU as well as he comes out of the pits then in the Red Bull. Everyone else is staying on to the wet tyres at the moment. Then here's Knowlesley then, who is down in 14th position at the moment, and Dalton also in the pits as well then. So of course the safety car Dalton's out at the moment, so no one is going to be able to gain too much of a gap out here at the moment because they're all adhering to the safety car. Whatever, so we're just in it. Kaz is saying an Epic is going to be fuming. Let's see if he comes in the pits. He is in the pits, then. So this is going to be interesting then. Emerson is 14 seconds back at the moment. Is anyone not going to come in the pits? Is going to be the question then. Out of the pits is coming Lewis then. Unfortunately, Alpha Tari team are having an horrific Grand Prix. And into the pits then comes Epic. Emerson in the pits. Danger Times is staying up then. The championship leader is rolling the dice here. Is he going to get out in front then of Epic? As Epic, he is going to get out in front. Danger Thomas leads the Grand Prix. Sly Guy is staying out as well. Oh, goodness gracious me. And there he is, and there's Epic. This easy Grand Prix win for Epic is now all of a sudden swerved on his head here. Goodness gracious me. Sly Guy's back up in the second then. Epic is up in the third then. 4th position Emerson. Jar in 5th position at the moment then. Samba is also staying out as well. Emerson is dropping down north as well. We've had a lot of big losers in this part of the Grand Prix, and then just stayed out as well. On board now, we've got Crazy Bill then, who's in 10th position. He has just come into the pits then. The question is where Blaze's intermediate tyres is going to be a helper hindrance with 5 laps to go in this Grand Prix. It's very much edge of the seat stuff now tonight here in the Australian Grand Prix, isn't there? Who is going to be able to take the win then? Danger Times is not coming at all on 24 lap wet tyres then. He has got Sly Guy who has come to the pits and he came in the pits about 12 laps ago, a dozen laps ago. He is now second then. Epic, who's just come in the pits and was comfortably in this race by 14 seconds there, is now in 3rd position, but he has fresh wet tyres then. Andench has not come into the pits either. He's in 4th position now. Supreme driving for Andench. Samba in 5th. He is he kind of fresh tyres, and he's done 8 laps on these wet tyres. He's in 5th position there, 9 seconds of penalties there with Emerson on fresh wet tyres along with Jar and Troy as well. Blaze on intermediate tyres in 9th position in the McLaren car. His championship rival now leads the race, but however he has not come in the pits and change those tyres, has he? Goodness gracious me. Liam Young's asking why did Emerson stop there. Danger Times, no stop, challenge complete, very rare trophy. Serious Master was saying down too late for Emma to make places back. I think that I think it is, isn't there? Emerson's going to be Emerson and Epic are going to be very unhappy with this, and they, with the safety car coming out so late in the Grand Prix, and because everyone is spread out, and Cartboy unfortunately is a lap down as well. This has been a nightmare race for Cartboy, hasn't it? Unfortunately, then he's a lap behind as well. So we're just waiting for Sloth, who's on the intermediate tyres at the moment. They're down in 17th position there for the Alpine car. Is it looking too wet out there? I think it's too much, isn't it, for the shallow groove intermediate tyres to clear all this standard water out there. It is pretty difficult indeed. Liam Young saying he thinks he's thrown away a win, then it's so hard to overtake in the wet then for Emerson then, and potentially Danger Times may be struck it rich here as well. Can he go for a second Grand Prix win of the season as well? McLaren so far have got 3 Grand Prix wins they're named in the first 3 races. Blaze has 2. Danger Times has a Grand Prix win there. Goodness gracious me, it could be a 100% record for the McLaren team. An incredible start for the McLaren team indeed. That from the team from Woking, absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. And lap 26 then, I'm expecting another lap. Cartboy has got a drive-through penalty then, albeit for falling too far back. However, I think he's to be fair to him, he's just unlapped himself, so a bit harsh there for the game to give him a penalty for that one. Goodness gracious me then, absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Yes, you got a vote for driver of the day then. Who do you reckon should be driver of the day then? It's between Jar, Epic and Sly Guy. Epic at the moment has got 8 votes then to Sly Guy's 1 then. He's been supreme then. Jar I think should get a good shout as well, because he's been supreme tonight, hasn't he? Jar has there. It's fantastic stuff then. But however, Danger Times is currently the Grand Prix leader. Can Danger Times then, albeit it's not in that poll, he could get a Grand Prix, he could get the maybe he might be a shouting for driver today as well. But of course, keep that coming in, everyone, then about pole position then. As just now on board there, Danger Times leads this race, and Cartboy unfortunately has been given a double whammy now, getting lapped and unlapped himself, and then given a drive-through penalty then for falling too far back. So that was a bit disappointing there, wasn't it, there, to say the very least, that unfortunately for Cartboy. Just watching at the moment, Slothfen, who's down in 70th position on the intermediate tyres, has got 15 seconds worth of penalties. Julian's got 12 on his debut. Blaze has got 3, 6 seconds for Emu. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong all the way through the race. I apologise profusely. Samba on 9 seconds penalties. That may cost him points on his debut here. It's not for the Aston Martin team, which is a bit unfortunate. And of course, Cartboy's got a drive-through penalty. The safety car is still staying out then, so we've got another lap beyond the safety car. I think we'll be going on lap 28 then, which means less laps then for Animal and Co to maybe stay out then. Goodness great, maybe not many laps then for Animal and Emerson in Jar and Troy to try and get back through the field, and Blaze as well. We're on board the Grand Prix leader, and Danger Times said he is currently on course for a second Grand Prix win of his season, and this will be Danger Times' 4th Grand Prix win of its career, which would be brilliant stuff indeed though for Danger Times, wouldn't it? I think he's really reached another level this season, Danger Times has, hasn't he? It's such a shame really, because I was looking forward to the battle between Danger Times, Percy, Sly Guy and of course Epic the Animal really, but and Emerson as well. How can I forget Emerson? Goodness gracious me, and Gurman. Unfortunately that has not been the case, has it? Due to a couple of numerous things. Wants to see the tyres? There are the tyres. Good stuff indeed. That Loggy Wilson's asked is Xbox or PlayStation 4? Is PlayStation 4, my good man. And I hope you're enjoying the stream, my good sir. And of course. And of course, it's been a great race to watch here in Australia, hasn't there? My goodness gracious me. 2 followers away from 12,000. Am I saying that right? Or is it 1,200? I think it's 12,000, isn't that? You see, this is the problem then, unfortunately, because this is the problem, unfortunately, isn't it, with big numbers. I struggle with big numbers, Malarkin. Loggy is enjoying the stream, and thank you very much, Loggy, and thank you very much for joining us as well, and which has been a supreme stuff indeed. I apologise that I haven't got to all your comments today. It's been a very much out of your seat performance. Safety cars in this lap then. We got 1 vote for Jar, good stuff, and 10 votes for Epic the Animal, and 3 votes for Sly Guy. Epic has done nothing wrong here. It's just been a bit like Keza really, wasn't it, where it just where just the where it's just not where it's just unfortunately the puzzle has not it's just not matched the pieces, has it, and all that kind of stuff. But Cartboy is a bit too far back at the moment. Intermediate tires then for 3 drivers on the list then: Sloth, Emu, and Blaze. And so when is Danger Time's going to drop the hammer then? That is going to be the question then. Epic the Animal has got driver today. I cannot agree with that. I cannot disagree with that whatsoever. He has not put a tyre wrong, has he? Epic hasn't. And I think he's really done a supreme job. Epic the Animal has really good stuff indeed then. However, who's going to win the Grand Prix? That is going to be what the driver's going to be thinking about now then. Car 97 is the McLaren. And when's he going to drop the hammer down? Remember what Epic did earlier on then. Out of the final turn. Let's see what he does then. Out of the final turn, and we're back racing. That's a perfect start then for Danger Tom. Sly Guy is just a bit too far back at the moment. Epic in third position at the moment. Epic is very much behind the 8 ball then, and we're back racing here in Australia for one more time. 2 laps to go then, and Emerson is under the pressure there for George. He's having a look on the inside going into turn 1. Not quite then, and Danger Tom's got second, and Emerson has had a horrific run out of turn 2, and now Jar is all over the back route. Look at this, weaving this way and that way. Emerson will not be in phase, but he's going on the outside. Jar not quite then, but Samba, who's on the outside of Amdenge, who's, I think he's my driver today. He's been supreme. It really has today. Fantastic stuff there from Amdenge. I'm really impressive stuff there. Jar is still over the back of Emerson, but I think that maybe he's now fended off the Mercedes driver there, and that has allowed Troy to be very much up behind as well. Intermediate tires not working for anyone at the moment now, as Blaze is now going to make struggle to stay in the points here then. Yellow flag in 1 then is Sloth has gone off the circuit. He's gone off and he's still carrying on then, but that's a major problem now for Sloth. And look at this then, as Blaze is very much holding up Bill and Chazza now then. The intermediate tires is not the way to go, unfortunately. Samba all over the back of Amdenge, and Amdenge has done 27 laps. Yellow flag in sector 2 as Sloth is having issues again. Then look at the squirrel. Then Nosey is now lost out, is now overtaken Emu as well. Then up in the 13th position. Nosey is that we got an incredible battle between these guys here. Oh goodness me, look at this! And they're going on the outside here, and look, oh my goodness me! But Blaze there is still in 9th position. Well, then Crazy Bill is still in 10th, and then Chaz in 11th, and Julian in 12th position as well. And Blaze has gone by. Blaze has gone by, and Emerson in Jar has gone by. I don't know where to look then. Crazy Bill is now in 9th position there. Good stuff. Chaz in 10th position. Blaze dropped down the order here, and Blaze is down into 12th position. And the Chapman is second. The World Championship is having a major problem now. Emerson is going for it's gone from defence to attack. Then in a twinkle of an eye, lap 29 of the Grand Prix. Emerson is just too far back at the moment. As to overtake Samba, maybe have a chance going into turn at number 3. It is turn number 3 then. Emerson, but now look, George going for it again now. And Emerson now just defending the middle part of the track. Then he's got the middle part of the track there, but George having a look once again. And can Jar get himself up into 6th position on his debut? It's not good stuff indeed there for Jar. Remember that Samba does have a 9 seconds worth of penalty. Sly Guy's all over the back of Danger Tom's running. Look at this. Can Sly Guy go for his first Grand Prix win of his career in Division 1? And he's having a look now. And Danger Thompson plays out the Grand Prix. And Sly Guy is locked up on the inside brake there. And now I think the Animal's all over the back of him as well. And he's trying to have a run then, but at the moment that's not quite in. I think that might be Sly Guy's only chance for the Grand Prix win then. Danger Tom's going for his 4th Grand Prix win of his career here tonight. And what may have been a strategical masterclass here. Thank you very much to Adidas then for following us here tonight. Fantastic stuff indeed then, as this is absolutely mega stuff, really good stuff. And indeed as we're going up into a turn at number 13 then for the 29th and last time here in the Grand Prix. Emerson is having a look then, but no dice as Samba closes the door. Of course he's got every right to do so. Lewis has got a penalty as well, and Danger Times then, who's as blazed out of the Grand Prix, as I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier on then, out of the final turn then, and now as Emerson's dropped down the order and out of the final turn, and Danger Times wins the Australian Grand Prix. That is his 2nd Grand Prix win of the season. It's still a McLaren domination in terms of wins this season. Absolutely incredible stuff indeed. We're not sure what happened to Emerson in the end, but he did finish 5th, but he dropped down quite a long way. If we got Lewis off the circuit in the background, and we've got a red ball of MU out of the Grand Prix as well. Cartboy has got a 20-second penalty for unserved drive through there. Unfortunately, Jar has dropped all the way down to 11th somehow or another. We're going to have to get the old calculator out for the end of this one, as I completely missed the end of that. It was an absolutely incredible end to the Australian Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Wow, really well done indeed then. Mega stuff then, but it's Danger Times who's the Grand Prix winner then, and absolutely mega stuff indeed. Knowlesy getting into 8th position in the end, and no disrespect to Knowlesy, but I think he was lost. He was at C at one point, wasn't he? Fantastic stuff, up into 8th position in the end for Knowlesy. Good stuff, and indeed then of course, and same with Chazza, who had a nightmare start to the race, but he's got 2 points then, which could be crucial in this championship there. One incredible race indeed, I absolutely love that. Very good end then to the Australian Grand Prix. Danger Times 2 Grand Prix wins now of this season. His 4th Grand Prix win in a row. Dalton's got the driver of the day, but it was Epic who got the driver of the day for you guys, the viewers, which is the most important part then. And there is Danger Times then. 4 wins for the McLaren this season. Very much dominating so far. The McLaren team has been. Danger Times extensively in the World Championship as well. With Blaze having a nightmare race today. This is a great race today for Danger Times. Elected not to come into the pits there, and that is what gave him the Grand Prix win. And let's take a final look at the classification, shall we, then, from this incredible Australian Grand Prix, this very wet Australian Grand Prix as well. Danger Times then won this race. He didn't look too quick in qualifying, but race is where it matters. And good stuff, then. Sly Guy second today. Unfortunately, maybe that pit cost him potentially. Epic did nothing wrong there, but unfortunately, safety car really cost him today. That incredible performance there from start to finish there, and then superb drive today. And now he is out of minus points there. Emerson in 5th position there, with Troy in 6th, and Crazy Bill, another good drive there. Knowlesy in 8th position there. That was a great drive for Knowlesy then, and as he mentioned, and that's why we don't pit and quit. Chaz in 9th position there. 10th position is Samba on his debut. Unlucky for Samba in the end then, with Jar in 11th position there. Well, I'm not sure what the 10 seconds was for, because he's now 10 seconds at the end of that race, so for me. But Jar in 11th position, Dalton in 12th position, Julian in 13th, Lewis 14th, Carboy in 15th, Sloth in 16th position. Retirements was Emu, Blaze, Bradfield, and Curtis. Retired them from the Australian Grand Prix. And Epic, goodness me, I feel so sorry for you today, because you were supreme throughout all of that race, and a safety car really cost you that race win. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, congrats to Danger Times. It's a good win. I mean, he made the right call, do the opposite of what I do. Like, that's a checkmate situation when that safety car comes out. If I pit, they can stay out, and then I lose track position. If I don't pit, then they're all on fresh tires, and then I'm screwed that way. It's really frustrating to not step a foot wrong for 3 of the 4 races this season, and then have nothing to show for it. You know, like the amount of times that a safety car has come out for me this year in all the leagues I'm in at the worst possible time, like, it's absolutely laughable. Like, I just can't get away from it. So yeah, honestly, 3rd's good, got good points, whatever, but like, I'm pissed off. Like, that was my race to win. I need those points, and it's just, you know, it's one of those things like China. I can admit I messed that up, and then if it's your own fault, you can be like, all right, I'll get better for next time. But like, what do I do about this one? You know, it's like I didn't step a foot wrong. I raced fast the whole time in the wet, and I just get absolutely mugged by a safety car timing. It really sucks to lose it that way again.
It is indeed, but on the positives, in the rain, you was untouchable. You was, I think you was like 14 seconds in the lead at one point. That is an incredible advantage to have in Division 1 there. You was like walking on water as well, so that is definitely a positive to show.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, once I heard like 11 seconds, I kind of just thought to myself, like, all right, I'm on cruise control, and like I said to myself, like, save these tires and make sure they make it to the end, and then if I see that like maybe Sly Guy starts catching me, then start pushing again. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I drove really well. I feel like I played really well. This was my 4th league race this weekend, and I won the first 3, so I wanted to end out 4 for 4, but it happens, I guess. Whatever.
But that is still 15 valuable points though for the championship. So you thinking about the long game, that ain't too bad then.
Yeah, and I gotta give props to like the people on my team and people in chat giving me support. Appreciate you guys. Sorry I couldn't bring home the 25.
A very good day indeed there, Epic. Absolutely supreme stuff indeed. I think that Epic's the only one who wants to talk to me, which is nothing unusual. Right, that's going to be it then for Australia. What an incredible week that's been then here down under in the Australian Grand Prix. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night, because it is the start of the Imola week, isn't it? I'm looking forward to that one. That is going to be fantastic. This is the first time Hover Drivers visiting Imola then. I can't pronounce the Grand Prix name yet, so I'm going to have to be practicing. But for me, it's the San Marino Grand Prix, because I'm old. We'll see you tomorrow night, though, for round 5 of the World Championship. Goodbye.